Macy, is that you there? Can you hear me, Macy? I think well, there might be a few people in chat. I bet you can hear me. I'm just checking out the audio. Is this too loud? Is this not loud enough? If you can hear me, let me know if this... I've tried to mess with the audio a bit to make it louder. So just let me know in chat if you don't mind, if you can hear me. You think it's a touch loud, Meowzord? You think it's okay, Macy? Ooh, okay. Let me turn it down a bit. How about that? And I know I have music playing, but I'm kind of seeing if I can, if you can hear me over it. Thank you, Demosthenes. Thank you. Thank you, Meowzord. And thank you, Macy. All right. We'll stick there. Thank you. Day Shadow, I am not streaming on Twitch yet, but I will be soon. I might need to make some upgrades. I'm probably going to try it in the next week or so. You're not my child. Hello, everyone. Hello, 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 hello. Hello. How's everyone doing? Okay. I know I said I'd start at 3:30, but alas, I'm a liar. I've start a little bit early here. Might as well, for the sake of time, etc. Let me see who we have here. I know a few people were helping me with the audio. Also terrifying a few people, which brought me great joy. But anyway, how's it sounding, folks? I tried to up the volume a bit so that it would, you could all hear me better. Let me take a look who we got. Good evening, Mithril. Welcome. Love your name, Mithril. Love Lord of the Rings. London is here. Fantastic. Love it. Does it sound good? Fantastic. Thank you, London. Let's see who we got. Macy, of course. Hello, Macy, and one of the originals, one of the great heroes here. Meowzord, another great hero. Welcome, Meowzord. Demosthenes, another fantastic hero. Hello, Demosthenes. Salmon Forest. Yes, Prageru, more like Prager Lane. Good one, Salmon. Good one. Okay. Yes. Okay. Salmon also becoming an original very quickly here, if not already. Jay Shadow. Music is relaxing. Yeah, I try to go for that a bit because I know I always need a little relaxation. Okay. Meowzord. Yeah, I feel like I'm at a royalty free dead mouse right it is royalty free music, that's why I do it. Jay Shadow, more Prageru. Which one is it now? Oh my goodness, Jay Shadow, just you wait, the horror that awaits us is horrific. I am sure of that. Okay, yeah. I know that the first one is on feminism, so we'll see where that goes. I have a guess. All right, who else we got with us? Death died today. Hello, Death died today. J Shadow Vaush. Yes, we're going to chat about Vaush. I don't know much about Vaush. I've seen some of Vaush's stuff, but I wanted to ask chat's opinion because I keep hearing very polarizing things about Vaush, and I'm just curious what everyone thinks about him. We'll talk about that. Toya. Hello, Toya. Hello, another original here. Toya. Great to see you here, Toya. Jay Shadow, yes, I'm not streaming on Twitch yet. I know I already answered this, but I'm going to be probably in the next week. I'm going to try. I don't know if I have enough power on my computer, internet, but we'll find out. We'll see. I'll see if it works. All rise. Yes, Toya. Death died today. A lot of reasons. The to be sorted foe. Yeah, I think I know what that is. Death died today. I know that. I got you. That's interesting. Salmon Forest. I have seen people who stream on Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter at the same time. Crazy. Whew, yeah. I'm going to try Twitch and YouTube first, Salmon Forest, and then maybe I should do Twitter also. Okay, hello, London. Okay, Mithril, Demosthenes again. Sammy Lammy, I'm glad you're finally able to come to another stream here, Sammy Lammy. I know, yeah, I'm glad to see you here, Sammy Lammy. Death died today, and interesting. Okay, I'm interested to talk about Vaush here in a bit. No problem, Macy. No problem. Salutations, the four show flip. Welcome to the stream, four show flip. Welcome. Long Beach Dragon's here. Hey, Long Beach Dragon, another original. Okay, and Sammy Lammy. Yeah, I'm glad you're here, Sammy Lammy. Okay, so folks, we have a 5 super chat thing going on here. If we get to 5, I'll put on the Jester hat as always. You'll notice I do have some lovely nail polish on just because I went to a Oscar's here. Hello, Oscar. Welcome back, Oscar. I know I've seen you in here before. Yeah, mainly because I went to a drag show today to raise money for cat welfare, which so that they can help the kitties find homes. It was a great time. Thank you very much, Sammy Lammy. I got you. Okay, I'll just call you. Can I call you 4? I'll call you 4. Does that work? The 4 show flip. Let's do that. I'll just call you 4. Okay. Now you sound like an android or something, you know. But yes, that works. Okay. All right, guys. So we got a lot to talk about. Okay. Thank you. I knew what you meant, Sammy Lammy. I knew exactly what you meant. Thank you. Okay. So we have we're going to so I do have some Prageru videos I want to watch. God help us, I haven't seen them. My other Prageru reactions are doing pretty well on YouTube comparatively. So I wanted to do a few more of those, and then of course afterwards I want to talk a little bit about Vaush. I don't know much about him. I have seen some of his stuff, but then I want to get people's opinions and such on him. It's kind of a curiosity of mine, and then we will do some of the reactions on Discord. Of course, if anything else comes up, we will also discuss those things as they come up. Okay, I think that sounds good to me. Yeah, Long Beach Dragon. Yeah, if we're doing Prageru, it is a good thing you took your blood pressure medications, especially since the first video is I did, Macy. Thank you. I got all the reactions from Discord. I mean, I can go into that list and take a look at them. Well, Fox Emblem's here. Hello, Fox Emblem. Yeah. But don't worry, folks. So I will do all the heavy lifting with the Prageru videos. I will try to make them at least not too painful. That's what I heard, Jay Shadow. I heard there was a bit more to it than that. But okay. So, folks, again, guys. So as always, I'm going to start with this. We get 5 super chats. I'll put on the Jester hat, and also a goal for me. If we get 5 super chats, I'll stop smoking for 30 minutes. That just helps me. On top of that, if we get to 10, I'll put on the Jester collar. If we get to 15, I'll put on Jester makeup and complete the look. Could evolve into the final form of the Pokemon. Okay. At the same time, folks, you'll notice that there are Jay Shadow. Ooh, okay. Yeah, Lolly, not great. I may want to look that up. Well, maybe don't look it up. Okay, anyway. Okay. Yeah, right, Jay Shadow. Okay, so all right, so I've done all that. Like we did last time, we did some of these Prageru videos. Oh, sweet jeez, I'm already getting annoyed looking at it. I'm going to do my little bit at the beginning. And then I will watch the whole video. Please feel free to comment and such during the video, but for the sake of me clipping it later, I won't answer right away. Tiago's here, and Sir Bartholomew. Few things, okay? Tiago, I want you to know, Tiago, I know you care for the kitties dearly also. I went to a fundraiser today, a drag show, to raise money for a cat welfare, which helps kitties. So yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Sir Bartholomew, love you, Sir Bartholomew. Hello, Sir Bartholomew. Welcome back to chat. Okay, guys. So again, I'm going to do my little bit here at the beginning, and then I will watch the video, and then in between videos, I will pause to read through chat and such. And for those who just came, okay. Exactly. Drag for cats. Absolutely. Henry G's here. Hello, Henry G. So let us get started. For MR. Hello, MR. Welcome to chat. I don't think I've ever seen you in here before. Welcome, MR. Okay, guys. So let's get started with this. I'm going to pull up now the Prageru video. Again, please chat as much as you'd like during the video. Make comments you want me to read afterwards. I will not respond right away just because I am going to be clipping it later. So let's get going here. I am not, this is going to be terrible. We'll find out. Oh goodness. Okay. I have, I think 4 videos lined up. They're not that long. They're pretty short. So we'll go through these and then we'll talk later. We'll talk about some stuff afterwards. All right. Let me make sure here I got everything else up I need. Close that window. Okay. Okay. All right. What's this video called? This video is called Who Needs Feminism? Right. I know, right, out of context clips. You know that's what's going to happen, Salmon. Yep. It is, Henry G. Donald Trump is trying to get Prageru he's trying to replace like PBS, public broadcasting, with Prageru. Right. Okay. And it's being pushed in a lot of red states to be used in schools. It's going to be a doozy, folks. Hope everyone has their devil's lettuce nearby or some sort of intoxicant to help you get through it. Okay. Okay. So let's see what we got here. This is the first one. Let me do my little bit here and then I'll start it. Mithril, I already did one of Candace Owens' ones. I don't know if she is in any of these. She might be. God help us all. So we will find out. I've not seen these, so I don't know who's going to be in them. We will see. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, Long Beach Dragon, absolutely. Prageru, when you care enough to even make sovereign citizens look like a stable genius. I'm a very stable genius, as Trump said. Okay, guys, let's get started with this. This is the first one. I'll do my little bit here for the sake of clipping later. Okay, and oh, good God, let's help us all. All right. Okay, here we go. So let me do my bit, and then please chat, say things you want to say. Those who have been here before when I've done this know, I will struggle to not read chat because I love interacting with all of you. So I'll try not to until the end. But okay, here we go. This one. Okay, let me start here. If you like what I do on my channel, please click the join button beneath the video, and for as little as 99 cents a month, you can become a member of the channel. And if you become a member, you get access to tons of cute little emojis, and you get access to having a cute little Jester hat next to your name when in chat. Also, you can support me on Patreon for $5 a month. You can become a supporter of the channel, and there's some extra content and such on Patreon for you to see. Please subscribe below, and let's get into it. What we're doing today is we are watching some Prageru videos and doing some live reactions to them. This first one is called Who Needs Feminism? And let me point out for everyone out there that Prageru, the Trump administration is advocating for Prageru to basically replace PBS, the public broadcasting service. And furthermore, it is being pushed to be used in classrooms all across the country, especially in red states. So let us see what we have here. Oh, good God, help us all. Okay, let's see. This one is called Who Needs Feminism? All right. Let's go.
I am an anti-feminist.
Hey, let's just start here. Why would you want to admit that? Okay.
Feminism is a mean-spirited, small-minded, and oppressive philosophy.
Mean-spirited, small-minded, and oppressive philosophy. Now, okay, so here's an issue here. I mean, okay, an automatic issue here that the word oppressive especially, okay, because the whole point of feminism is liberation. By the way, not only for women, also for men, okay? Because there are lots of gender norms in society that are also bad for men. Men, it's hard for men to express emotions. A lot of men never receive any compliments. It can be draining on their mental health. Men are sent off to fight and die in wars because they're men. So this is already start. I don't know who this person is, but we'll find out, okay? All right.
That can poison relations between the sexes. Relations which for most of us provide some of life's deepest pleasures and consolations. Feminism has attempted to bully us all into accepting an obvious lie. The lie that men and women have the same powers, talents, proclivities, and desires.
Well, so men and women are of the same species. They are human beings. Is that in doubt? They can have the same talents. They can have the same proclivities and desires. Also, I'm not sure why they chose to make these two figures partially nude. I don't know what that's about. Regardless, let's just oh, sweet Jesus. Okay. Okay.
And that consequently, any discrepancy in their professional paths is due to bigotry and must be corrected by force of culture and law. By shoving that lie down our throats, feminism has made both men and women less happy and less free.
Okay, objectively not true. Go back to the 1950s. Let's see what women were doing then. They were almost all homemakers, and some of them may have wanted to be homemakers, but it was barely a choice. There was no choice really for women at the time. Many lived pretty horrific lives because of that. So absolutely, it did not make them less free. Women especially did not make them less free. You can even see I'm wearing nail polish right now. Feminism would make it easier for a man to wear nail polish if they wanted to. That makes them more free because feminism is about the equality of the sexes, okay? The equality of the sexes, not judging both differently, okay? That is not to say there are not some differences between men and women, on average. There are sort of averages. Okay, I don't want to get into this. It's obvious, but my point here is but the point is that feminism is about treating the sexes equally, okay? And not judging people for however they want to express themselves and whatever lives they want to lead.
Now, I'm going to have to speak in generalities, and I understand there are all kinds of exceptions to what I'm about to say. But the generalities remain generally valid. Feminism denigrates masculinity in men by relentlessly calling us toxic for our flaws rather than appreciating.
Nope. So feminism goes after patriarchy, which is a system in which men have more power, more control, and things like that. Okay. Now, admittedly, I understand some feminists can kind of conflate this. I understand that, but it is not going after men. Okay. It is trying to raise up women, and also, by the way, in some ways, allow men to also do things that would allow them to be more themselves and stuff. So it goes both ways. There are male feminists. Okay. There are male feminists.
Our natural qualities of energy, risk-taking,
oh no, please
and
don't start with me. Okay, rather than appreciating our so-called natural qualities of energy, risk-taking, and leadership, let's see here, folks. I'm sure you've met men who don't have much energy, who are not prone to taking risks, and who would not make good leaders. And the same token, I'm sure you can find women who are very full of energy, like to take risks, and are very good leaders. Again, this generalization, he's like, oh, I know I'm generalizing, but it's generally right. So you are generalizing. I don't know why you would add that little thing in there, okay?
But it also denigrates femininity in women, working to replace most women's commitment to relationship and child-rearing with male obsessions, such as career status and strength. What's the result?
Okay, I'm sorry. That is insulting to both men and women. Okay, so not all women want children, for example. Not all women want to express their gender in a feminine way. Okay, not all men are obsessed with like strength. I don't. Okay.
Take a look at the quintessential feminist icon, Rosie the Riveter, flexing her muscle. The truth is, any man of the same size and fitness can make a bigger, stronger muscle than Rosie can. By herding women away.
Well, so there is, again, I don't even want to say this. There is some truth. Men on average have more testosterone. It makes it easier to build muscle. That does not mean that all women are weaker than like men. Okay, there are some men who I'm sure you've met them. Who I've known women in my life. Like, have you ever seen some of the Olympic athletes out there? Women, like they could crush me. They could smash me into a little ball and throw me into a trash can if they wanted to. So this is definitely he's very overgeneralizing. Okay.
From their feminine natures, feminism seeks to transform them from first-rate women into second-rate men. Now, perhaps you'll protest.
Second-rate men? Do we see how that implies women are inferior just naturally? Like, okay.
Isn't feminism simply the idea that women have the same human rights as men? No, it isn't.
Yeah, it is. Now, there are different branches of feminism. There's more radical forms. But the general idea behind feminism is that, women should have equal rights to men. Okay. So I clearly he has no idea what he's talking about. I mean, are we really surprised, folks? It is Prageru. I'm not terribly surprised. Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah. So
philosophy is called classical liberalism, which holds that we are all equally endowed by God with the inalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But wait, doesn't the Declaration of Independence say that all men are created equal?
Yes.
Classical liberalism was an idea conceived by and largely for Christian white men.
Well, hey, that might be the first accurate statement he's made. The Declaration of Independence did not include women. So hey, I'll give him credit there. Yes, it did say men. It did not include women. And it was only men who could vote at the time. It wasn't even all men who could vote. You had to be a propertied man. And it wasn't even it was white men because enslaved people couldn't vote. So hey, credit where credit's due. Okay. Yeah, it did not include women. And that was a terrible, terrible crime. Terrible shame.
But like all ideas, good and bad, classical liberalism has evolved over time according to its internal logic. So it now includes all races and both sexes.
Yeah, I love how he says that with disdain. Like, it now includes all races and both sexes. By the way, folks, not everyone identifies as just male or female. They're non-binary people. I'm just saying, again, this is kind of limited worldview here. Very limited worldview. This guy must have lived in a cave his whole life.
Good job, Christian white men. Thanks for the great idea. As its excuse for the damage it does to our lives.
And the joy in his face just saying the phrase Christian white men. Look at that. You see that smile he had?
Feminism has developed the historical mythology that men have oppressed women and now must be suppressed in their turn to even things out. Let me propose a different narrative that has the advantage of possibly being true. Insofar as men and women are physical creations, their central purpose is the production of more human beings. Women are therefore fashioned in body and
okay. Oh my God. Like they're not even hiding it. Look at how the woman in this image is dressed. I mean, the objectification just present right here is crazy. Do we think that a person living in the Stone Age would be dressed like that with hair that looks like that? I mean, okay. All right.
In mind to make and nurture children and men to protect and support those children during their relatively long maturation.
This is gross. There is some anthropological, biological. I mean, okay, all right, you get it. Okay, I'm not even going to go into that. I'm just going to let him go.
Period. All societies shape themselves around these necessities. They created structures that formalize gender roles. And
No, they did not actually. So not every society created itself around those structures. There have been, and now they're rare, there have been societies that are, what is it called? Not femarchal, gynarchal. I forget what this. So that have women have been in the dominant positions of power. They are rare, but they do exist. You also see similar things amongst other non-human primates. Bonobos, for example, female bonobos have much more influence than male bonobos. This is absolutely not true. Okay, he is thinking only of certain cultures and certain times and certain places. Okay,
attempted to ensure the paternity of children so that men would care for their own. In many societies, these structures became increasingly ritualistic and oppressive for women.
Yeah.
But the opposite happened in the Christian West.
No. Nope. Do I even have to explain that? The opposite did not happen in the Christian West. Women were oppressed in the Christian West. They still are in a lot of cases. Okay.
Why? Take a look at your Bible, Proverbs 31. The biblical ideal of a good woman is not only strong.
We're quoting the Bible to try and show that women are treated equally in Western society. If anyone's read Genesis, just read Genesis. You automatically see that that's not true. I mean, I could go on. There's multiple passages in the Bible that are misogynistic. So okay.
Strong, kind, and wise, she's also a creative and economic dynamo. Christianity sanctified motherhood in the person of Mary and celebrated women's fortitude and virtue in the female saints. The church created a version of marriage intended to protect women and designed the philosophy.
No, it did not. It created a version of marriage that subjugated women to men. That happened everywhere in Europe. That is 100% not true. Literally, women were often treated no better than property. Yeah.
Of chivalry, which instructed men to use their superior strength for women, not against them. Individuals can be incredibly abusive to one another.
Do we see a bias here, folks? Is bias talking about Western, like Europe, Christianity? Okay. By the way, there are more people in the world than just Christians and Europeans. So basing your whole argument of gender off of one area of the world, no anthropologist would agree with that.
Another, men and women both. But over time, Christendom tended to elevate, protect, and ultimately include women as women in the great enterprise of Western civilization.
You've got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. Oh, my God. You have got to be kidding me. Elevate, protect, and ultimately include women as women. Well, what does that even mean, include women as women? Yeah, there might be some transphobia here, okay, in the great enterprise of Western civilization. Oh, okay. Okay.
Now, the developments of modernity have created special challenges for women. Industry removed clothing and food production from the home to the factory, and thus deprived homemakers of their traditional businesses. Children lost their monetary value to parents by leaving home to fend for themselves. So, while motherhood and homemaking remain the most important spiritual activities of humankind, modernity has stripped those enterprises.
The most important spiritual activities? Okay, for who? That again depends on culture, time, place, etc. Okay.
Of their former economic power.
Now that's some fascist language. Their modernity has stripped those enterprises of their former economic power. The fascist hatred of modernity. Excuse me, that's gross and very prevalent in what he's saying.
But in a Western civilization dedicated to equal rights, these challenges come along with fresh opportunities. New technologies and effective birth control allow individual women to tailor gender roles to their personal life.
Oh, hey, wow, my God, that was weirdly progressive of him. Yes, birth control, abortion, things like that. Now, he didn't say abortion. Yeah, gives women more freedom. Okay, it also raises people out of poverty. Interesting. I wonder if other folks on this channel would agree with that. I'm all for that. Yeah, let's say that. Let's push that.
Or abandon them altogether. None of this is a reason to attack men. In fact, these new opportunities are largely the result of men's inventions.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Yeah, men are the source of all knowledge in the world, right? They're the source of all progress, of all things. Okay. Yeah, no. Anyone heard of Marie Curie? That's just one. There's many others. Not yet, absolutely not true. Yeah, absolutely. Men have founded a lot of things because they're human. So yeah, they've been able to do human things like make discoveries and things like that. Okay. All right. Okay.
And their ideas. And none of it requires women to abandon the femininity, which is one of the graces of our world.
Who cares? Who cares if a woman wants to not be feminine, whatever that means, because it varies from in time, place, everything. Okay. Who cares? Who cares? I don't understand this obsession with, oh, they're not feminine anymore. Who cares? They're people. They can do whatever they damn well please.
It's just change and progress. That's all. With honest thought and goodwill, we can adapt over time without the angry, bitter, and dishonest attacks on our human.
Oh, I think I see what's happening here. Do we think he might be a bit of an incel, folks? Do we think he might have had some bad experiences with women, and so he's directing his rage towards them? Yeah, maybe the girl he liked in high school or whatever, or man. Hey, I'm not judging. Could be anyone, okay? Maybe they didn't give him the affection he desired, and now he thinks anyone seeking equality for women is just a monster, okay, or doesn't like them because he was hurt once. I think I see it in his eyes, that longing, that sadness. Maybe that's what's going on here.
Nature by feminists. I'm Andrew Klavan for Prager University.
Okay, chat. Oh my God, chat. I got to see what you're saying. There's so many good comments here. That was horrific. Okay. Oh my good. Oh my. Okay. All right, guys. Gonna be a doozy. Let's see here. He looks like discount Bezos. Yeah, right. London. I am a Nazi. Yeah. Oh, for fuck's sake, Clavin. Right, Mithril. Oh, geez. Okay, Sammy Lammy. Absolutely, no one needs feminism. Obviously, right, Sammy Lammy. And again, I've said this multiple times, right, folks. It's good for men and women. Okay, it's good for men and women, right? Men sometimes want to do things that, because of gender norms, it's hard for men to do without being judged or whatever, including what I'm doing right now, wearing nail polish. So my point is that feminism is about the equality of the sexes. Men should be equal to women. Women should be equal to men. And yes, historically, presently, we've lived in a patriarchal society, so women have needed more of that than men. Okay, all right. Okay, always looking like a thumb, right, Jay Shadow? This is already so stupid. It's funny. I agree, Sir Bartholomew. Like, I was having trouble not laughing during part. Well, actually, I think I did laugh during a few parts of it. You're right, Jay Shadow. Feminism has never said that. Okay, I don't know what he thinks feminism is. Okay, I think, I get it, MR. I totally do. It's really hard to listen to these people. I can't stand it at all either, all right? Yeah, Long Beach Dragon, you're right. I think this is mainly about being anti-trans. He made, like, comments like, women who are women. It's like, oh, yeah? What do you mean? Okay, because he doesn't think trans women are women. Okay, okay. Luke, welcome, by the way, Luke back. Welcome back, Luke. Thumbs thumb from Spy. You got. Oh, this is brilliant. Salmon Forest, Prager, NSFW. Yeah, we all see that, right? I'm not going crazy here, right? I might be a gay man, but I even saw that, how they were sexualizing all the women in this. Okay, Luke, if this was in a book, they would burn it. Yeah. Good one, Luke. Yeah, Druzella, I can't wait to count all the straw people. Yeah, okay. So much straw manning there about talking about feminists. Okay, it's so bad. An entire farm's worth of straw. Another straw man. Masculinity isn't toxic, but there is toxic masculinity. 100%. There are forms of masculinity, right? That are absolutely non-toxic. Okay. All right. London, there's always the minority in any group that makes the majority look great, right? Exactly, London. And yeah, there have been some feminists in the past who have been radical feminists who have believed that women should actually literally physically separate from men and stuff. I can understand where that comes from, because after years of oppression, some people might want to do that. But again, that is not the current of feminism, right? If we're going to generalize about feminism, it is not. Anyway, Yeah, okay. FBI warned all the American public to be wary for men for your own safety. Yeah, okay. Yeah, though again, Macy, not all men, right? They're vast majority of men do not commit any crimes, do not assault anyone. But okay. Demosthenes didn't bother to make the straw man, just pointing to the fields, right? J Shadow Fem Cells. Oh my God, this is great. Sir Bartholomew, I am one of them. Me too. I'm not one of the guys that like to go out there and stuff. Laughing my ass off demos, right? Okay. J Shadow. Hey, Grace Abrams. Hello. Welcome, Grace Abrams. Welcome back. Male obsessions. Yeah, I know. Okay. J Shadow. I think Brock Lenar's daughter is very focused on her strength, and that's fine. Yeah. Yeah. There are women out there, like I said, who could crush me easily. Okay. Grace, welcome, Grace Abrams again. Jay Shadow, wrestling has disproved. Yeah, Jay Shadow, wrestling has disproved this 1,000 times over. Okay, 100%. Jay Shadow, cis women have beaten cis men in wrestling so many times it's based off weight, so that breaks the argument. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Okay. London, my lord, this just gives off tiny you-know-what energy. Yeah, I think we can all agree this might be some compensation here, okay? Maybe that's why he keeps himself bald, so he looks like a giant. Yeah, let's not go there, okay? Salmon Forest, proletarian feminism for the win. Yes, Salmon Forest, workers of the world unite. Luke, who was white male landowner? Exactly. They were all white male landowners at the time, okay? All right, okay. Let's see here. J1, welcome J1 to the chat. Long Beach Dragon. I bet $1 this guy expects his wife to be waiting at the door with slippers, a cigar, a glass of whiskey, and the paper, taking his jacket, removing his shoes, and having dinner ready when he gets home. Oh, 100%. 100% Long Beach Dragon, and I hope she doesn't burn the food because, ooh, I'm worried where that would lead, okay? Jay Shadow, the day, yeah, like it's a bad thing. Yeah, he's definitely an ethno-nationalist. You could 100%, Fox Emblem 100%, you could tell from what he was saying. And like the joy in his face when he was like, thank you, white men. Thank you. I'm like, oh, okay, calm down, buddy. Calm down, okay? Did someone say, yeah, Grace Abrams, no men in such documents? No, they did not, Grace Abrams. So there is a myth that the word men in the Declaration of Independence meant like humankind. It did not. It literally was men. It was literally men. They didn't. You have to understand the men at this time. They literally couldn't really conceive of a public with women in it. So when they said men, they meant men. Okay. As a matter of fact, folks, at the time of the American Revolution, this is gross. I mean, it's not gross, it's not like gory, but if you ever go to Massachusetts and the East Coast of the United States, go into some old graveyards there with headstones from like the from the late 18th century. You will see that a lot of times there will be a male headstone that says the name, and then next to it will be his wife. And a lot of the times, all it'll say on the woman's headstone is she was a good wife. Or it'll say good wife. Sometimes it won't even give her name. Because at this time, that's all you could really aspire to as a woman was to be a good wife, which to me is gross. So again, yeah. All right. Winterlinde, what have I got into here? I know, Winterlinde. Welcome to chat, Winterlinde. More misogynistic crap. Jay Shadow, what the F was that cleavage line in that? Right. She had a really nice perm, nice hair there for living in the Stone Ages. Right, Drusilla? Poor white man. Oh, right. Okay. Creations, yeah. Right. Well, okay. I wear short shorts. Good for you, Jay Shadow. We need to bring back short shorts for all men. They're also just comfortable and makes it easier to move around. Mithril, does Clavin not know or care that women took part in hunts? Mithril, I actually forgot about that. I should have mentioned that in the video. You're right. Women did take part in hunts in the Neolithic period because you needed everyone you could, right? If you're taking down a mammoth, you're going to need everyone, okay? Matriarchal, oh, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Death Died Today. Thank you, guys. This is why I should have looked at chat, okay? Jay Shadow, hell, we even know now that women helped hunt. But yeah, you guys are right. I totally forgot about that. I should have looked. Harambe was meant to be a dad, right? Giant-eccentric, that I've heard that phrase too, Giselle. That may be the one I was looking for. Historical bollocks. Absolutely historical bollocks. Please, the puke symbols. Yep, this is is all very irrelevant. You're right. God favored abortion in the Bible, very much so. Okay, if you look in there, yeah. Okay, all just straw manning left and right. The Bible comments. Yeah, the Bible does call women property. Absolutely. The Jezebel spirit they babble about isn't even in the Bible. Yeah. Yep. Macy Schroeder, Hail Mary, but disregard the women dying without medical care today. Yeah. Yep. 100%. Grace Abrams, Christianity was better to women than Hinduism and Islam. It depends on the time and the place, Grace Abrams. It absolutely does depend on the time and the place. And it was definitely not good for women in early Christianity and not even later Christianity. Mithril, what drugs has he been taking? Oh, I don't know. Whatever it wasn't Rogaine. Anyway, so I'm sorry. I shouldn't have criticized that. That's mean to me. Okay. And like I'm losing my hair, by the way. Okay. So, like Jephthah's daughter, as Drusilla says, that was crying because she wouldn't bear children before her father sacrificed her. Right. Okay. It doesn't mean include women. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't mean that. Everything almost about Christian Samuel Lamian gives that away. Women are objects to be owned. Even the white of the wedding dress, 100%. The white of the wedding dress, like showing purity, that they're untouched and that only the male in their lives will be able to touch them. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Drusilla, this guy absolutely don't believe in women doing what they ever want. 100%. Yeah, it was one of the big. Good call, Jay Shadow. A large chunk of marriage was about property. Okay, it was about an exchange of property and ownership. Okay, a Long Beach dragon. I hope when he got home, his wife gave him a ground glass dinner. Don't we all? Okay. Death died today. Marie Curie was amazingly smart. Yeah, she was a genius, an absolute genius. There have been many female geniuses. I mean, you all know this. I don't even know. I'm only saying it because I saw this lunatic talking, but you all know this. There are women who are absolutely brilliant. I mean, duh. Obviously, they're humans. Okay. Look up Mary Wollstonecraft. Tons of others. Okay. Macy Schroeder, scientist refers to women because the term used to be a man of science, right? It did. Okay. Oscar Fernandez, I just read Angela Davis on the approaching obsolescence of women's work. It really makes sense to me. Women's work is all unpaid, 100%. And as I've said before, folks, the labor that women do in a home and the labor that men do in a home needs to be paid. It needs to be paid. It is labor. It is good for everyone, not just that household. It needs to be paid. Okay. All right. Henry G., Queen of England that just died. Yeah, Angela Merkel. Queen Liliuokalani of Hawaii. Very good. You know your stuff, Henry G. We're great leaders. Even Claudia Sheinbaum, who's the president of Mexico right now, one of the best. Okay. What about something I had a professor once say was a lot of the women in history have the great after their name. Okay, Queen Elizabeth II the Great. Okay, Catherine the Great. So again, men can be good rulers, women can be good rulers. Obviously. Demosthenes, whatever shall be to the advantage of all, may that prevail. Correct. It should be. Okay. Let me go back here. I went down. Okay. Okay. All right. It's called oh gosh, there's so many good ones here. The gaydar's going off. Dev has stupid rage. Yeah, Grace Abrams. Dev has stupid rage. Birth control also helped men. Yeah. I mean, birth control was also good for men, by the way, in a lot of ways. London, I'm having to let so many messages through moderation review because everyone is just insulting this guy. London, it's okay. I forgive you. I will accept it. I'll allow it. Oh yeah, I forgot about Rosalind Franklin with the X-ray crystallography, which she found was able to, and then she didn't get credit for it, by the way. What are their two names? Got credit for it instead. Watson and Crick, or whatever their names are. Macy Schroeder. They always saw with wild, cruel things and casually follow it up with, "This is natural and moral, like taking a poo. It's okay and not gross." Excuse me? Exactly. Isn't Bezos discount bald man already? Yeah. Discount Lex Luthor. Oh, these references are great. The gaydar is going off. Yeah, I kind of get in the gaydar there too. He seems to be, like I said, folks, if someone enters a room and it's like, "I'm not not gay. I'm not gay. I'm a man. I'm not gay. I'm not gay. What do you think's going to happen? Okay, what do you think? What are you going to think about him? Okay. Discount Lex Luthor. Long Beach Dragon. This guy's bringing up historical comparison while ignoring historically gender roles were more interdependent and less strictly defined than in later periods. That's actually a fair point. There are some theories about that, like in the Middle Ages and such. Especially amongst the nobility, they were definitely very rigid, but amongst peasants, serfs, and stuff, it was much more. It wasn't as rigid. Okay. Grace Abrams, has a biological woman ever won a medal in a sport where the competition was against biological men? I'm sorry, has a biological woman ever won a sport where the competition was against biological men? Yes. There are some sports that are have men and women playing, and yeah, it has happened. 100%. Does he think Elizabeth I was a man? Apparently, Mithril, apparently. Okay. Did I say Elizabeth II? I'm sorry. I meant Elizabeth I. Okay. Was a brilliant ruler. I mean, I don't agree with her because I'm, obviously, but for the time, brilliant ruler. It's called being a closeted gay man, right? 100%. This is why you never hear these people cite classical liberals like, no, absolutely. Of course I'm for. They would never. Okay. You can't actually do that. Okay, Drizella, like political lesbians, might not be exactly the name right. Grace Abrams, again, may want to examine your biases there. Okay, just throwing it out there. I don't think anyone is arguing that men can't build muscle. Like men can build, on average, can build muscle faster. There's more testosterone involved there. Now, I'm only talking men who are sexed as men at birth, but there are also women with a lot of testosterone. This is complicated. And Grace Abrams, do we really think that the USA soccer team was beaten by teenage boys, or do we think they let them win because they're teenage boys, and that's what you do when you're competing against children? You let them win. So just something to think about. Okay. So it's so common. Okay. Myth will prove it. I don't know if you remember, but President Obama, he played basketball against some star. I'm gay, so of course I don't know I'm lying there. I don't know the stars, but yeah, the star let Obama win. Okay, I mean that's what you do when you're playing against children. You let them win. Look at equestrian, Grace Abrams. Yeah, there are so many things you don't need an appendage. Men back then, Fox Emblem. Men back then were essentially woman. You're right. Okay. Thank God, folks, there are a lot of men that way today, okay? Incels and things like that. They just don't understand the humanity of women. Okay, if you go back and read the debate on the Constitutional Convention, they were worried about agrarian reform, 100%. And agrarian reform, folks, is where the poor or take away the wealth and the land of the rich, and they literally built it into the Constitution to protect the rich. As I famously said, James Madison famously said that the purpose of the Senate is to protect the minority of the opulent against the majority. Okay, and they didn't even include all men, by the way. Men were oppressed too. I mean, not in the same way as women, but they had only included men with property. Good luck, Tiago. Enjoy your barbecue. So Grace Abrams, I already gave you an example of this. Okay, I told you there are many sports, and we could nitpick and say equestrian isn't a sport, but it is. It does. It takes physicality. It takes a lot of physicality to ride a horse. Women can beat men in that sport. There are some sports where it's all about raw physicality. But again, this is a so we need to be more open-minded about this. Okay. Okay, guys. This is good, folks. I know I'm. Okay, guys. Miro, please, if you want to join the Discord. Oh, I don't know. Sorry, my computer is yelling at me. Give me a second here to make sure it's plugged in. There we go. So, would someone put the Discord link in chat, please? Someone asked for it. Thank you, Miro, for that. Yeah, I know he is. Hey, I'm going to be going bald too, so it's not the end of the world. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay, guys, this is great. Let's I'm not gonna read the rest of these for now, folks, because let's get to the next one. All right. Um, okay, so okay, so um, let's watch the next one again, folks. We don't have any super chats yet. That's okay, but if we get 5 of them, I will put on the Jester hat. If we get 10, I'll put on the Jester collar. 15, I'll put on the Jester makeup. Let's go to the next video here. All right. Let's go here. Okay. We can talk more about this in a bit. I know, right? Okay, so let's go on to the next one.
Okay, this one AI site
dear
builder
God,
you
folks. Okay, this one is called "What's Wrong with Government-Run Healthcare." I'm going to lose it. I can already tell I'm going to lose it. Okay, let me go back to the screen here. Okay, I prefer people don't die because they don't have access to healthcare. Okay. All right.
To me,
let's go through this
is
ad.
dope tech from Wix.
Okay, guys. All right. Prageru. All right. Christ. All right. Here we go. I'm going to do my little spiel again. Give me a moment here. This is just for me helping to clip the video later. If you like my channel and you want to help support what I do, please click the join button below. And for as little as 99 cents a month, you can help me do what I do and help my father do what he does. Or you can join me. You can join on Patreon for as little as $5 a month. You can help support the channel and you'll get exclusive content. Click the subscribe button below and hit the bell icon if you want to see when I go live. This next video is called "What's Wrong with Government-Run Healthcare?" This is Prageru, which again, Donald Trump has been promoting to be used in classrooms and is considering replacing PBS with. Okay, let's go.
It's very easy for a politician to stand up before voters and say healthcare is a right, and then passionately advocate for single payer or free healthcare or Medicare for all, whatever term they might use. But before we consider the merits of the government managing your healthcare, and that's what this all boils down to, maybe we should ask a more basic question.
Okay, first of all, I always love the framing of we should consider the merits of the government running your healthcare. The word government, especially in America, has a very negative connotation. Now, folks, theoretically, if we had a democracy where the government actually represented the people, you could easily phrase it as where the people run their own healthcare system. Where the people of the country run their own healthcare system. Now, obviously, in the United States, that's not how things are working right now because of campaign contributions and stuff. But yeah, we would love a system where the people of the United States democratically run their own healthcare because it's for the benefit of all people in the United States.
What do we mean by healthcare? Because if you get sick, and here we're talking major illness or you're in serious pain, you don't just want healthcare, you want quality healthcare.
Why can't you have both? Also, if you can't access quality healthcare, some healthcare is still better than none. This is a fallacious argument.
And where is your best chance of finding that? The answer is right here in America.
Nope, not true. So the United States has worse quality healthcare and it's more expensive than most other countries that have universal healthcare. Yes, we have great technology. A lot of our healthcare system is very good, very competent doctors, very good technology, but it's limited to people who can afford it. Okay, and it's not widespread. Okay.
Skilled doctors, cutting-edge medical treatments, and care without long delays. No other country rivals the United States. Not even close.
Okay. Who watching this video has had to wait months to see a specialist? There are long waits in the United States of America to see healthcare providers. The argument that in socialized healthcare systems, you have to wait forever to see someone, while there is truth to that, it is also true in the United States. It is a dumb argument that people make.
Nobody from Texas is going to Canada for medical treatment. It's almost always the other way.
Yeah, yes, they are. Yes, they absolutely are. They're also going to Mexico. There are multiple, and by the way, there are people going to Cuba to get health care. There are people who literally cross the border into Canada to get medication because it's less expensive there. There are people who cross the border into Mexico to get medication because it's less expensive there. There are people who get on little skiffies, I think that's even a word, little boats, and go to Cuba because they know they have free universal health care. That is just factually wrong, and it's gross to say that because sick people are needing to do that because of our healthcare system.
Way around. Sure, our healthcare system has lots of issues, and we should address them. But do we really want to upend all the advantages that we do have and start from scratch?
It would not be upending the advantages we already have. The hospitals would still operate the exact same way. The funding of those hospitals would change. Okay? The funding would be that the government, through tax dollars, would give everyone health care, and that would actually be less expensive for everyone. Because if you have an insurance company acting as a middleman, they have a profit motive, which increase costs. Get rid of the middleman, and then you will be able to really lower costs. It also allows for bulk buying of medications and things like that by the government, which will also further reduce costs.
Because that's what would have to happen if we completely turn healthcare over to the government.
No, it isn't.
So let's imagine we make the change. We hear a lot about how great free healthcare would be, but it's only fair we look at the downside. The first is that government-run healthcare takes medical decisions away from patients. That means
okay, you know who it gives those healthcare decisions to? It gives them to insurance companies who do everything they can to deny healthcare coverage because they have a profit motive. We all have experienced this. If you have the premium you pay, the other costs you have to pay before they start paying for things, you still have to pay co-pays, and they will deny you medical coverage at their leisure if they want to. Even some like United Healthcare have been using AI algorithms to deny people healthcare as much as possible. So if you want to, so in our current system, that the people that make decision about your healthcare is insurance companies. And if you put it in the hands of the people would be able to decide what the healthcare they want, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Obviously.
you, and puts them in the hands of bureaucrats. They decide, for example, how many MRI machines are going to be available, or under what conditions you can get back surgery or a bypass.
Based. You know how expensive MRI machines are? If you were to buy them in bulk, make a big deal with a company or another country that has these MRI machines, instead of buying one at a time for each hospital, the price will go down markedly, which will massively reduce costs, not only for the hospital, but for the people needing that care, okay?
Or even whether you qualify for cancer treatment. That's how it works in the United Kingdom under its single-payer system.
Which has
because it has finite resources.
Okay, so for anyone in the if anyone's watching this is in the UK, you know that there's problems with the UK health system, largely because the conservative end of the spectrum has been defunding it. But it still functions better than the United States system, okay? Because people have health care and they don't die if they don't have health care, which is barbaric.
The National Health Service, or NHS, sharply restricts access to treatments like hip and knee replacements, cataract surgery, and even prescription drugs to deal with common conditions like arthritis and diabetes.
Yep, that's an easy fix. They can increase the funding, but the right wing doesn't let them. It is not an issue with their healthcare system. It is an issue with the political situation there.
Diabetes. If you suffer from any of these ailments and many others in the UK, you may just have to live with the pain.
Oh, does that sound familiar to anyone here, having to live with the pain? I got a tooth, literally right now as we speak, that is aching, okay? It is very expensive to go get that tooth looked at, okay? There are people, I have known many people who are in pain every day because they cannot afford the treatment they need to fix that pain, okay? I mean...
Let's hope you don't have a medical emergency. In a January 2018 article in the New York Times, patients in emergency rooms around London are described as having to wait 12 hours before...
Again, folks, if you've ever been to an American ER room, you probably have had a similar experience, waiting 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 hours for care in an emergency room.
They are tended to. Corridors are jammed with beds carrying the frail and elderly. To deal with the situation, hospitals were ordered to postpone non-urgent surgeries until the end of the month. That hardly seems like an improvement over what we have in the US. A second big problem with single-payer systems is that they are expensive. Really expensive.
Nope.
A recent study by the Mercatus Center at George Mason University found that a Bernie Sanders-style Medicare for All health system would cost a tidy $32.6 trillion over 10 years.
So there have been multiple studies. Some have different results. The vast majority show a massive decrease in the cost of the entire healthcare system because, once again, you're taking out the middleman. And yes, taxes will go up, but you know what will go down? You will no longer be having money taken out of your paychecks to go to a health insurance company, and it'll be replaced with a smaller amount of tax that you have to pay every year. So you, as an individual, will save money if we have a universal healthcare system. Yes, your taxes will go up, but the costs to you to healthcare will go down markedly. Utter nonsense.
That's on top of what the federal government spends on healthcare today. And this is not a new number. Other studies have found the cost.
Yeah, you know one of the reasons why the government has to spend so much on healthcare, because except for a few medications, they are legally not allowed to negotiate the cost of the price that they pay for drugs, because our government is basically owned by the pharmaceutical companies because they bribe politicians through campaign contributions. So most pharmaceutical companies can charge whatever they want. I'm not even exaggerating, for the medication that the government has to buy. They make a massive profit margin, and the government, our tax dollars, have to pay for that profit margin. So if we got rid of that and we made it so that the government was allowed to negotiate drug prices like it is in every other civilized country, okay, I mean, as in like countries that are more civilized than us, and I don't believe in that term, but I'm making a point here, those costs would go down.
To be roughly in the same range. So how would we pay for it? Kenneth Thorpe, a professor at Emory University and health policy official in the Clinton administration.
I don't give a shit what Kenneth Thorpe says. We're the wealthiest country in human history. The wealthiest country in human history. We can easily afford it. Easily. Hell, tax the rich. I don't care.
Administration spells it out. If you are going to go in this direction, Medicare for all, the tax increases are going to be enormous. Not just for the rich, Thorpe estimates, but for working Americans and the...
I told you folks already, did I not? Did I not tell you that, yes, the taxes will go up, but the amount being taken out of your paychecks will go down or disappear completely, and it'll be less that's coming out of taxes than will be taking out of your paycheck.
Poor too. Charles Blauhaus, the author of the Mercatus study, puts it this way. Even a doubling of all projected individual and corporate income taxes would be insufficient to finance these added federal costs. And he considers that a conservative estimate. Canada knows all about exploding...
Yep, multiple different views on this. The vast majority of economists say it'll save money.
Healthcare costs. In Ontario, the country's biggest province, those costs took up 46% of its entire budget in 2010. By 2030...
There's an issue here, folks. Any basic economic... Okay, now I know this might be shocking to the people who watch Prageru videos, but there are two parts to this. There is costs and there is revenues. So yeah, it might take up 46% of their budget, but they're also gaining a revenue that pays for that through taxes, okay? I don't know why I have to explain that. That is simple economics. Let's see. I doubt he'll mention that there's revenue coming in to pay for that.
That number is projected to be 80%. In other words, in a few years, Ontario will have little money to pay for anything except health care. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, government-run systems depress the search for new cures. Biomedical research spending in the U.S. far outpaces that of any country with nationalized...
Yeah, that's not true. We subsidize research. Our tax dollars subsidize research. A lot of medicines and stuff are subsidized by the government, including the COVID vaccine, things like that. That is just not true.
Healthcare, even when you account for differences in population or size of economies. That's one reason medical breakthroughs rarely come from countries where the government controls healthcare. They come from the United States, where the government doesn't. The lion's share of biomedical research and development spending in the U.S., over $70 billion in 2012, comes from the private sector. Discovering new medical cures and technology is a profitable business, and thank goodness it is. Those profits drive innovation.
And by the way, folks, there's an issue with this too, because, I will admit, these competition stuff, it causes lots of issues. There is an incentive there to develop new medicines to sell them, but once you develop that medicine, you own the copyright. What's the phrase there? You own that medicine, which means that people will have to pay the price you set for it for a certain amount of time. That is a problem. And also, let's be honest, I know this is radical. I think everyone in the world should have access to the same medication. I feel like humanity should all benefit from medical advances. Call me crazy there. Anyway.
Take away the profits, and you will surely take away the innovation. Single payer, free healthcare, Medicare for all, they might sound great, but like all visions of utopia, they ultimately produce a lot more harm than good.
Oh, is it utopia? Even though every wealthy nation on the same level as the United States has universal health care and no one dies because they can't access health care, and we're the wealthiest country in human history, and we think we can't manage that?
I'm Lan-Hee Chen, fellow at the Hoover Institution at Stanford for Prager University.
Oh, there's your problem there, the Hoover Institution.
Thank you for watching.
Oh my God, chat. Jesus Christ, I'm glad that's over. I was going to lose my mind. Let's see what we got here in chat. Oh my God. You all know, those who have been here before know how one of my pet peeves is our healthcare system. Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Again, folks, thank you, Tiago. Thank you very much for that super chat. Donate to the Tooth Cult. Thank you, Tiago. And folks, if we get 4 more super chats, I'll put on the Jester hat, which will actually be kind of cute if I had the Jester hat on during these videos. Okay. Let's see here, guys. Oh gosh. Sammy Lemmy, I am so grateful for the healthcare in Sweden, even if it's a lot. I would love, yeah, right, Sammy Lammy. And hey, universal healthcare systems aren't perfect, but you can fix things, right? You can switch to that system, and as issues come up, fix the issues. That would, anyway. Elliot Waffles, we should be framing M4A as a tax cut. Yeah, Medicare for all is a tax cut. Health insurance is basically a mandated private tax. That's a great way of framing it, Elliot Waffles. You'd be paying less overall, 100%. Long Beach Dragon, it cost me half the amount to get dental work done in TJ without insurance. Yeah. So imagine if okay. I mean, it's crazy. The government run healthcare is almost better than private healthcare. Luke, I got approved because they involuntarily committed me after I lost my dad when I was 19, and they sent me a bill for $16K. $16K for necessary medical care. Luke, I am so sorry to hear that. That is barbaric that we do that to our citizens like that. That's disgusting. Yeah, Drusilla, your healthcare in Norway is great. Never waited long. I hate that argument that we have to wait long. We have to wait long here. Let's see here. We got, we decide that there's enough. They will decide exactly when there are enough MRI machines, and it'll cost less because we can buy them in bulk and we can make deals. The government can. We, the people, can decide that. 4, me with my workers' comp who denied my neck surgery after a spine injury on the claim that they, and I wish they were kidding, don't see how my neck is connected to my spine injury. See, this is why we wonder why there are people like Luigi Mangione in the world. And can we see it? Can we see it? That is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Tiago, you could have a private healthcare system like Norway and have public but there are different ways to do a universal healthcare system. Absolutely, Tiago. But our government doesn't represent the people; it represents the interest of lobbyists and such in Congress who are destroying all this stuff. Yep, nonsense. Absolutely right, nonsense. Mithril, absolutely. I'm sure you know, Mithril, that the right wing there, occasionally has tried to defund it and make it not as workable, but that doesn't mean it is unfunctional. Does not mean it's unfunctional. Jay Shadow, I spent like $1,500 on my tooth. I have insurance that was out of. See, okay, by the way, folks, teeth are important. Oh my God, shocking, right? As a matter of fact, historically, many people would die because of their teeth. There was no dental care and stuff, so people would get infected. The infection would spread into their skulls, and I mean, literally their skulls and their jaws, and they would die. It is important, okay? Grace, I think we've moved on to a different topic here, but thank you for the message. Goron, thank you, Goron. Welcome back. I know I've seen you here before. Dude, pay plane ticket to Europe, fix your tooth, and come back. Goron, I would love to do that. I really would. It would actually probably be less expensive to get a plane flight to Europe to get treated than it would to get it treated here, okay? Maybe when I'm finally surviving off doing this and such, I'll be able to do that. Thank you, though. Alan W., I went to the dentist like 3 years ago, and they wanted me to get something done that would have cost $4,500. You're all gonna make. I know I get emotional sometimes. You're gonna make me. It's barbaric. It is barbaric. Okay, everyone deserves health care. We're human beings. You cannot help if you get sick. Okay. 4 here says also yes. When my when they denied my spine surgery because I could still move my legs, despite me making 3 separate opinions from their surgeons, and all agreed. Yeah, absolutely flawless, right? Apparently, the doctors don't matter. The expertise of the experts don't matter to healthcare companies. Yeah. Right, Winterlinde, there are many ways to do social health care. We don't, there are many ways to do it well. We don't have, we can decide which one's best for us, okay? Drusilla, there was someone in his 20s somewhere in the U.S. that died because he had to use less diabetes medication because he couldn't afford it. Yep, I remember that story, and that's because I can't remember, the corporation that made EpiPens. Was it EpiPens? No. I'm sorry. That made you all know what I'm talking about here. The substance you need to inject for that jacked up prices to like $400 or whatever. Insane. Okay. Yep. Insurance premiums would go down. Okay. You have to, exactly, Long Beach Dragon, you have to live with the pain. Isn't that what U.S. states with abortion prohibition laws are telling women with pregnancy issues, putting their and their children's lives in danger? Yep. Yes, they are. They love to keep the rich without pain. They love to keep... Yeah. Okay. By the way, in the U.S., folks, we have third world levels of death for women giving birth if they're in a minority group. I'm talking like Black women. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Yeah, that's a fair point. Why don't we take some from the military? Okay, maybe spending less on the military and spending more on. Thank you for that, Jay Shadow. Would be very nice. Okay. Yep. Literally, Alan W. We spend more per capita on healthcare and literally have the worst results. Yep. Every study shows that. Every study. Luke, they just got rid of what negotiations they had for insulin. Is that true, Luke? I did not hear that. That is gross. Okay, that is very gross. But capitalism, right, London? Okay. How will we pay for the big beautiful bill? Oh, that's easy, Elliot. Of course, we won't. We won't pay for it because we need to give trillions of dollars of tax cuts to the wealthiest Americans, while the rest of us peasants are left to wilt and die in the fields. Great country we got going on here at the moment. Jay Shadow, we spend close to $1 trillion a year on the military. Yeah, and our budget is equal to the next top 8 militaries. 100%. Okay, Oscar Fernandez, in Europe, the taxes are only double for the rich. Really? Yeah. And good. They should be. Okay, they should be double for the rich. J1, welcome to chat. But I think about the poor billionaires, right? I know. I'm shedding a tear for them right now. Okay. Tiago, the EU forbids the pharmacy lobby with medics, like saying to the well-specific drug, yep, 100%. We don't do that here. 4 days, 5 different antibiotics. Sammy Lamb, 4 days for fighting went on paid sick leave. Okay, folks, listen to this. I love when we got Europeans in chat because it allows us to see what we're missing out on, okay? Sammy Lammy, I was hospitalized for 4 days, had to try 5 different antibiotics, and went on paid sick leave for 2 months, and I paid a total of $250 US. What are we doing? What are we doing here? Winterlinde, why does he pick the worst examples to compare? Because this is propaganda, Winterlinde. This is a right-wing propaganda. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, thank you, Michael Patents. My brain there wasn't great for the video. Thank you all for telling me that. Yeah, you're right. Long Beach Dragon. The U.S. did enact legislation against things like stem cell research for Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. But by all means, we do the most. I know. Okay. Okay, guys. All right. Bye-bye, London. That is a true point. Israel has universal health care. And they also have a budget surplus, and yet we continue sending billions of dollars to them to murder children. So that's great. That's great. Love that for us. You're right, Grace. Trump does need to line his pockets and grift, much like many of our politicians, both in the Democratic and Republican parties. Okay, guys. 3 more super chats. Thank you for everyone who donated. Oh, thank you, Sir Bartholomew. I can't believe I missed this. We are all in this world together, and the only test of our character that matters is how we look after the least fortunate among us. Yes, Sir Bartholomew. But another brilliant take there, Sir Bartholomew. I wish more Americans thought that way. Okay. Alan W., this is personal, but I don't mind sharing. 4 years ago, I tried getting into rehab and no place took my insurance out of pocket. Your insurance out of pocket was $30K. Okay. Ended up using like 3 more years, over a year clean now. Congratulations, Alan. That's not easy. It's insane. Okay. Well, welcome to chat, Rick Wolfs. I'm literally refusing to pay any medical debt. Hey, I can't advocate for that, but I get that. I totally get that. Okay. Okay. Okay, guys. Sorry, there's a lot of good stuff here. Good day, alls. Okay, guys. Let's do the next one here. I'm going to take off my coat because I'm getting really hot. I'm getting kind of worked up. So give me a second here. All right, guys, let's continue. God knows what the next one is. I can't even remember. Okay. Tiago, how much do you have to pay me to pay for you to offend my capitalist friend? Hey, okay, I got you, Rosella. You can pay me as much as you want, Tiago. Okay. All right, guys, let's go to the next one here. We've only got 2 more, and then we'll react to some of the videos from Discord. Let's see what we got. Okay. Okay. So this one, okay, folks, I'm going to do my little thing here now. Okay. Salmon Forest. I think dental health should also be socialized or universal. I know a lot of countries with universal healthcare don't do that. That's something I think should be expanded upon. Okay, guys. So again, let me do my little bit here, folks. I will come back here in a second. Okay. I'm sweating like a pig in a smokehouse. Okay. Take a hit here, folks. If we get 3 more super chats, I will put on the Jester hat. Please consider doing so if you would like to. And I will also stop smoking for 30 minutes. That's sort of a personal goal. I'm just throwing it out there so you can hold me accountable if it does happen. Okay. Grace Abrams, 100%. And folks, I know I'm a socialist, but Grace Abrams actually makes a great point here. You can be pro-capitalism and still have a universal health care system and public transportation. You absolutely can. Many countries are. It's okay. Let's go, guys. Let's go to this next one. Okay, let me do my bit. This one's called Left or Liberal. Okay. All right. Let me do my little bit here. Yeah, it does, Grace Abrams. Thank you, Mithril. Thank you. Yeah, please smoke for me, Mithril. Okay, all right, guys, let's go. So I'll do my little bit here. If you like what you see on this channel, please consider clicking the join button below and becoming a member for as little as 99 cents a month. You can also help support me on Patreon. For as little as $5 a month, you can get access to exclusive content and help support the channel. Please subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below and hit the bell icon if you want to be notified when I go live. This next video here by Prageru is called Left or Liberal. I suspect they don't know what any of those words mean. I suspect this is going to be painful to watch. Prageru is currently being promoted by the Trump administration to be used in schools and to replace PBS. Let's see what they have to say about this. God help us all. Coming from the mouth of an atheist, that shows you how distressing this is.
What's the difference between a liberal and a leftist? This question stumps most people because they think liberal and left are essentially the same.
That is, admittedly, folks, we're beginning with a truthful statement here. A lot of people conflate liberalism with leftism. It is a problem. I cannot stand it. It is a big...
But they're not.
Okay, folks, you know what? We'll start this over. I did just see I got 5 super chats. I know. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much here. Let's get that hat going. Thank you, Luke, very much for the super chat. Tiago, say Mario, if you are a flit capitalist PM. Tiff, what you want me? I can say that, but would you? You are a. Oh! I got it. Okay, Mario, you are a filthy capitalist pig. There you go. Okay, thank you very much, Macy. Let me put on the Jester hat. Thank you guys for your contributions here. Now we can criticize people in power with a bit more, with the traditional hat on. Okay. All right. Let's criticize them kings, right? Let's criticize them kings. Okay, guys, I'm going to start this over. I apologize, but I wanted to do that. Okay. Thank you, guys. Let me reset the super chat here. If we get 5 more, I'll put on the collar. Start another goal. 5 more. And also, now I can't smoke for 30 minutes, so feel free to yell at me if you see me reaching for the vape. Okay. Jester collar. Jester collar. All right. And okay. Start that goal. We will do okay, so by 5:05. Okay. All right, guys. Let me do this again. My apologies. Okay, I just wanted to do this first. All right. So if you like what you see here on stream, please support me by becoming a channel member. Click the join button below, and for as little as 99 cents per month, you can help support the channel, and you get access to a ton of little cute emojis to be used in live stream, and you get a cute little Jester hat next to your name. You can also support me on Patreon. For as little as $5 a month, you can help support the channel and get access to exclusive content. Please hit the bell icon if you'd like to be notified of live streams as well. All right. So this video is called Left or Liberal. It's a 5-minute video by Prageru, which is being pushed by the Trump administration. Let us get into it. God help us all. Let's begin.
What's the difference between a liberal and a leftist? This question stumps most people because they think liberal and left are essentially the same. But they're not. In fact, liberalism and leftism...
As I was going to say, weirdly enough... Oh, this is actually Prager himself. Okay, well, that's... Already we have a problem there. Genocidal maniac. Regardless, I get annoyed with people conflating liberal and leftist. They are not the same thing. Let's see if I have a guess that they're not going to analyze this correctly, but they are not the same thing.
Almost nothing in common.
Is the echo bad, folks? Audio problem? I'll just edit the video. Is it a bit better now, folks? Is there a bad echo still? It's okay. It may be that I need to... is the echo gone?
But the left has appropriated the word liberal so effectively, almost everyone, liberals, leftists, and conservatives, thinks they are synonymous. But they're not. Let me offer you 6 examples. 1. Race. This is probably the most obvious difference between liberal and left. The liberal position on race has always been A, the color of a person's skin is insignificant, and B, those who believe race is significant are racists.
Okay, no. So, okay. I see the point he's making. The issue here, folks, is that a lot of people say that race. So a lot of liberals say that, yeah, race shouldn't be significant, but there are things that can be attached to race, such as wealth inequality, things like that. So that is, to begin with, inaccurate. But let's and so people who do believe that there is some significance to race because of economic reasons and things like that, liberals don't call racist.
Meanwhile, the left believes the very opposite. To the left, it's the liberal attitude toward race. It's unimportant. That is racist. That's why the University of California officially lists the statement, there is only one race, the human race, as racist. And liberals have always been passionately...
Okay, I don't even know if that's true. I don't know if they said that. Maybe they did. If they did, well, that's just moronic, obviously. There is only one human race. It is the humanity. I don't know what okay. He's okay. So he's cherry picking things that make people appear. He might be cherry picking like really some loony things people say, but that does not mean the point here. This has nothing to do with leftism. Leftism is mainly about economic ideas.
Committed to racial integration, while the left is increasingly committed to racial segregation.
No. The left is not about racial segregation at all. At all. It is also about integration, the idea that a society can be multicultural and do perfectly fine, because leftists believe that the main division amongst people is class. It doesn't matter if you're white, black, Hispanic, blue, orange. It doesn't matter. People of the same class will have a similar struggle and should be represented in a class race basis. Okay. Now, I will say though, it is true that historically, Marx had an issue. He kind of was a class reductionist, which means that he didn't consider some other factors that go into inequalities like race. But modern day leftists, for the most part, are good about this. This is just not true.
Such as all black dormitories and separate black graduations at universities. 2, capitalism. Liberals have always been pro-capitalism because liberals are committed to free enterprise and because they know capitalism is
which is a problem.
The only way to lift great numbers of people out of poverty.
It is not the only way to lift people out of poverty, and it's also a way to keep people in poverty. The only way, by the way, folks, not exaggerating when I say this, the only way that has been shown to always lift people out of poverty. There are other ways, but the only way that has been consistently shown to lift people out of poverty is to empower women. I am not exaggerating. There have been multiple anthropological studies done on this. If you empower women, give them power over their bodies and things like that, especially in low-income places and things like that, you will see the bottom rise up, okay? Now, it doesn't work the same everywhere, but that's the only way that has been showed universally to increase to raise poverty. Capitalism. So even Karl Marx would have said that capitalism is more efficient and generates more wealth than feudalism, but that doesn't mean that it is the best way to generate wealth.
It is true that liberals want government to play a bigger role in the economy than conservatives do. But liberals never opposed capitalism, and they were never for socialism. Opposition to capitalism and advocacy of socialism are left-wing values. 3, nationalism. Liberals believe in the nation-state, whether that nation is the United States, Brazil, or France. But because the left divides the world by class rather than by national identity, the left has always opposed nationalism. So, while
that is an oversimplification. Generally, yes, the left is more universalist thinking or more globally thought-minded. Call me crazy, but all humanity is important. Nationalism, especially extreme nationalism, is more on the right, but you can be a leftist and have nationalist or even patriotic ideas. It is not all leftists, follow that same track.
Liberals have always wanted to protect American sovereignty and borders. The left is for open borders.
If I have to hear this argument one more time, how many millions of people did Obama deport? How many millions of people did Biden deport? They deported millions of people. They literally did. There was never a quote unquote open border. Yes, there are issues. There were issues with immigration. Obviously, how we're handling it now is not the right way to deal with that. The easiest way to handle mass amounts of migration is to economically build up the countries that people are coming from, which will make it so that they don't leave those countries, because then they'll be in a country that has economic stability and things like that. And by the way, one of the reasons why there are so many people in Latin America that want to come to America is because of a long history of American imperialism, overthrowing of regimes that are, we watched, on my live stream a few days ago, we watched a video about the banana republics. So maybe stop destroying those countries, lording over them, and build them up economically like a Marshall Plan. Any Europeans watching this will know what the Marshall Plan was, where we rebuilt Europe after World War II to great success. Okay, so again,
the writers of Superman were liberals. Superman was a proud American whose very motto was truth, justice, and the American way. But that all changed a few years ago when left-wing writers took over the comic strip and had Superman renounce his American citizenship to be a citizen of the world.
Good. I mean, I don't like getting into this whole culture war, woke, like as in like the conversation about what's woke and not. Like, hey, I think that's a great idea. Superman should be fighting for all humanity. I don't care if he's like the early Superman was largely propagandistic in its pro-America stance. Yeah, this is good. This is a good change. It's such a small thing. I really don't care. But it is funny how a lot of right-wingers are always obsessing about cartoon characters, comic book characters, and things like that. Who cares? Who cares? It's an artistic expression. People can do whatever they want.
The left has contempt for nationalism, seeing it as the road to fascism. Better that we should all be citizens.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Okay. It absolutely is. One of the defining features of fascism is ultranationalism. 100%. Even extreme nationalism can give way to fascism. 100%.
Citizens of the world in a world without borders. 4. View of America. Liberals have always venerated America. Watch American films from the 1930s through the 1950s, and you will be watching overtly patriotic, America-celebrating films.
Yeah, that was full of propaganda because this was in the midst of the Cold War, so it was a lot of pro-American propaganda. A lot of it was kind of gross. Okay.
Virtually all produced, directed, and acted by liberals. Liberals were quite aware of America's imperfections, but they agreed with Abraham Lincoln that America is the last best hope of Earth. The left, however, believes the left is the last best hope of Earth and regards America as racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, violent, and imperialistic.
Okay. Apparently Dennis Prager, the founder of this channel, doesn't know history because let's be honest, folks, a lot of those things are very true. I'm sorry to say it. It is just true historically. America has been pretty racist. Now, we're not talking all Americans. We're talking about America generally. The state in America has been imperialistic. It has been homophobic, xenophobic, violent, and imperialistic. Do I even need to give examples of this? It absolutely has been the case. Now, this is not me specifically criticizing the United States. All sort of growing imperial powers and things like that act in these ways. And America is not that old. It existed in a time when these things were very popular, but it is still the case that there was, we had chattel slavery of black Africans, very sexist. Okay, we talked about that, when in the Declaration of Independence, homophobic. Do I even need to start with that? Good God, definitely a lot of homophobia, transphobia, xenophobic. What are we seeing right now? There's a concentration camp in Florida for immigrants. Violent. Oh my God. Do I even need to go violent? Okay. Imperialistic. Yep. All those things is true. I don't know. And by the way, there are a lot of liberals who do know that. They may not have the same solution for those problems, but a lot of liberals do understand that. I don't know what he means by this.
5. Free speech. No one has been more committed than American liberals to the famous statement, "I wholly disapprove of what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it." But the left is leading the first widespread suppression of free speech in modern American history.
That is rich coming from a conservative. That is absolutely rich. Trump is suing basically any newspaper that speaks out against him, using the power of the legal system to suppress dissent. Cancel culture 101, right? If you want to call it that way. Okay.
From the universities to the tech companies that govern the internet to almost every other institution and place of work. Of course, the left claims to only oppose hate speech. But putting aside the fact that the left deems hate speech anything it differs with, protecting what you
Love these overarching generalizations here. Okay, I am a liberal socialist, or you could also call me a libertarian socialist. I believe people should have freedom of speech. While also being a socialist, it is possible to be a lefty and also believe in freedom of speech. Obviously. There are many, at least partially socialist economies in Europe where there is freedom of speech. This is just a moronic take on this.
Or I might consider hate speech is the entire point of free speech. 6. Western civilization.
Oh, no,
Liberals have always championed and sought to protect Western civilization. Liberals celebrate the...
But Dennis Prager being a very uniquely evil Islamophobic person, a very uniquely evil hater of any other religious group, Hindus, whatever it may be. So when he says Western civilization, he means, I think we all know what he means, white Christians. So, yeah.
West's unique moral, philosophical, artistic, musical, and literary achievements, and have taught them at virtually every university. The most revered liberal in American political history, President Franklin Roosevelt, often cited the need to protect Western civilization and even Christian civilization. Yet when President Donald Trump...
You see the joy in which he said that? Protect Christian civilization. Okay.
Spoke of the need to protect Western civilization in a speech in Warsaw.
Yeah, it's a goddamn, it's a dog whistle. And that, by the way, historically, Western civilization has been a dog whistle for lots of racial ideas. Okay.
The left-wing media, also known as the mainstream media, denounced him. They argue that Western civilization is no better than any other, and that Western civilization is just a euphemism for white supremacy.
Well, I'm telling you folks, I was in grad school. I studied this stuff. And yes, it is often a euphemism for white supremacy, not always. In some academic settings, it is used to describe a certain set of, again, even this can kind of come across racist, cultural values that emanate from Europe. This does not mean that other cultures or other quote unquote civilizations are inferior. I don't know. He's implying that's what, he's implying that that's the case. It is not the case. Yeah.
So then, if liberalism and leftism are so different, why don't liberals oppose the left? In a nutshell, because they have been taught all...
They do. They do oppose the left. The liberals definitely oppose the left. Look at the Democratic Party. They have they sniped Bernie Sanders. They refuse. Hakeem Jeffries refuses to endorse Mamdani. There is a long history of liberals attempting to shoot down the left, push against the left, etc. They do not support the left.
All their lives to fear the right. But as one of the best-known liberals in America, Harvard Law School professor Alan Dershowitz said,
okay, folks, whenever you see anyone quoting Alan Dershowitz, you immediately know you got a problem. Epstein-less Alan Dershowitz, who loves killing children in Palestine, not exactly, by the way, was also the personal lawyer of Donald Trump, not exactly a person that we should ever be quoting for anything ever.
As a liberal, as an American, and as a Jew, I far more fear the left than the right. Dear liberals.
Yeah, you see the problem with that, folks? You fear the left more than the right. Fascism is right wing. So I'm sure Alan Dershowitz, if he had to choose between Hitler and the left, he would probably be like, oh, sure, I'll give Hitler my support.
Conservatives are not your enemy. The left is. I'm Dennis Prager.
Okay. Well, that one, I mean, that didn't throw me into a rage. Let me see what we got in chat here, but it was just kind of annoying. Okay, one more, folks, and then we'll do some chatting and such, and we'll do some other reaction type things. Let me see here. Thank you, guys. If we get 5 more super chats, I'll put on the caller. Thank you for everyone who's already donated. And folks, I already broke the rule. I just realized I was smoking, wasn't I? Oh my God, I See, this is what addiction does to you. Okay, this is what their side does. Yeah, it does. Luigi approves, right? Free Luigi, by the way. Okay, like people with communism and socialism, they don't know the difference. You're right, Henry G. They absolutely don't. For those who didn't see my live stream where I talked about the differences between capitalism, socialism, and communism, and you should go watch it. It was a great conversation. Okay, what's the difference? What's the difference between MAGA and Nazi? No, probably because because there's very little difference. Okay, I'm slightly exaggerating, but not by much. Okay, it's me, Bingo. Hello, welcome to chat. It's me, Bingo. Left and right in France were the ones who supported the monarchy versus those who supported the republic. You're right, and that's where the phrase comes from. The left being the people who were anti-monarchy, the right being the conservatives who wanted to prop up the monarchy. He's making a straw man, absolutely. How do people take this bullshit seriously? I know, Bartholomew, I know. And they're going to try to push this. No, you're absolutely right, Grace. There is racism in all races. There's even colorism within races, where different gradations of skin color. I'm not saying that only white people are racist. There's racism in every, race and stuff. But there is this is an artifact of U.S. fascism. Yeah, it is. There is classism in all classes. This is but one is particularly harmful. Classism that's directed downwards is very harmful. Classism directed upwards, not so harmful. Macy Schroeder, no, just because there are identified patterns of discrimination does not mean the side saying its problem is promoting it. Yeah, 100%. Prager was correct about UC calling the one race phrasing offensive in its training materials because it denies experience. This might be a spicy take, folks, but I think that's a really dumb thing for them to do. It is not racist to acknowledge that all people are human, and I think some of that nitpicking is very bad. It ruins legitimate attempts to liberate oppressed peoples. That's a bit much. Okay, that's a bit much. And that, so, okay, I guess that was true then, that they did have that. That's pretty crazy. No, Drizella, I'm not saying nationalism is good. I'm simply saying there are some leftists that are, in fact, nationalist. Okay. Let's fucking go open borders based. Hey, I don't think right now, I don't think we could do that, for a number of reasons, but hey, and sometime in the future, I would much prefer that. Okay. Yeah, you're right. The USA did abandon the women of Afghanistan after giving them 20 years of hope, Grace. I'm definitely not denying that. Grace Abrams, you cannot economically build up other countries when the poverty in the USA and Mississippi. No, you're right, Grace Abrams, which is why, what am I going to say, folks? We should tax the hell out of the rich. Wealthiest country in human history, plenty of money to build up those countries, have universal health care, and do everything else. We can't right now because we don't tax the rich, okay? And we have a corrupt system. Yeah, you're right, Long Beach Dragon. Superman was an illegal alien, right? He was literally an alien. He was from outer space. Yeah, you think they're confusing Superman with Homelander? Right. Back in a bit, dog walking time. See you, Mithril. I personally want the country to do better for its people. Yeah, me too. I think call me crazy. I want it to be a democratic society where the interests of the people are represented by the government. I'm not even, folks, I'm a socialist, but I'm not even saying we need to go all that way. We just need some major reforms because it's not a democracy anymore, and fascists are taking over because of it. J1, oh, you're right. I think you're right there that a judge did order Alcatraz to be shut down. I don't know if they've done it yet. I would need to look that up. But the fact that we even had it, is a problem. Druzilla, I heard the free press in the U.S. is on. Yeah, it's not good right now, Druzilla. We are no longer in the top when it comes to free press because it's oppressed, very much so. Yeah, I agree. I may despise what other people have to say, but they have a right to say it. There are some people on the left who disagree with that. Most leftists I've met do love freedom of speech. Yeah, exactly. Right, Druzilla, Western civilization, like genocide. Remember when I reacted to the Columbus video and they said in that Prageru said in that video, something along the lines of, he brought Western civilization to the Americas. Well, now we know what that looks like, don't we? What he did to the Taino and stuff. Okay. Oh gosh, these are such great comments. Mainstream media being truly left-wing is a hilarious idea, 100%, okay? They're corporate entities, not left-wing at all. They are soft liberals at best. Alan got massaged by Dora the Explorer. Yeah, kinda, right? I mean, yeah, all right. He is a fascist, absolutely, Drizella. Dershowitz is not a liberal. He is right of center these days. That is correct. But to be honest with you, Long Beach Dragon, a lot of proclaimed liberals are right of center. On the international political spectrum, a lot of so-called liberals are right of center. But you're right, though. He is at this point. He's a fascist. I don't know what else to say. The timer restarts 30 minutes. Yep. Oh, okay. Do I need to restart? Okay. Fair. Death died today. We'll start it again. Okay, so 5:30. I won't smoke till then. Now you have to add. Okay, you know what? Fine. You're all a bunch of degenerates. Fine. 45 minutes because I cheated. We'll say that 5:45 is when I will be able to smoke again. God help me until then. Okay, thank you guys. Yeah, Macy Schroeder. Oh my God, I want Elizabeth Warren to rage with me about my COVID defective laptop. Right? Thank you, Sir Bartholomew, very much for the super chat again, folks. If we get 4 more super chats, I'll put on the Jester caller. Thank you, Sir Bartholomew, for helping getting the ball rolling. Let's get the ball rolling, people. Thank you, Sir Bartholomew. Blows against the Empire. I just missed this. I'll have to go back and view Prageru's usual idiocy. Yeah, blows against the Empire. By the way, love your name. Welcome back to chat. I've seen you in here before. Brace yourself for the moronic things you're going to hear. Okay, Sir Bartholomew. Yeah, okay, I see here about nationalism towards Dennis. Okay, okay, guys. All right, you guys. So let's do this last one, and then we'll move on to briefly talking about Vaush, who I just want to hear. This cancels out the no smoking rule. Thank you, Sir Bartholomew. 3 more super chats. I think for the super chats, 3 more super chats, folks. You know, guys, Sir Bartholomew is basically carrying us today when it comes to the super chats. Okay, thank you, Sir Bartholomew, for that. 3 more, folks, and I'll put on the Jester hat. The Jester collar. My personal stance on freedom of speech is maximally free speech. Death by Today, speech that infringes upon the freedom of others should not be tolerated. The impact of moderation on freedom of speech should also be weighed. And I think that's a great debate to have there, Death Die Today. I don't know if I have a solid opinion on that. Maybe it's because I'm biased because I was raised, I don't know. But I do think there's truth in that. I am not a fan of a lot of hate speech. It's complicated. Sir Bartholomew, thank you, Sir Bartholomew. Again, Sir Bartholomew carrying everyone else, okay? Okay, that we go 2 more, and we will put on the Jester collar. Thank you, Sir Bartholomew. All right. Okay, guys, let's Sir 1, 2. Sir Bartholomew, you do not have to do this, Sir Bartholomew. Thank you, but you don't have to do this. Thank you again for the other super chat. Okay, you're the best, Sir Bartholomew. There's a reason why you can't yell fire in a movie theater, for example. Yeah, you're right. And even in the United States, there are some things you cannot say if they are a danger to people. Oh, okay. We got 5 super chats. You can't yell fire in a crowded theater. Okay. Thank you, Sir Bartholomew, guys. Thank you. Okay. Long Beach Dragon, let me ask you, for people in chat that have quit smoking, how long did it take you? And I'm guessing, huzzah! Thank you, Sir Bartholomew, again, carrying the chat. Let me do this. Here we go. Thank you, guys. I'll make sure. There we go. Now I'm feeling better. Woof. Okay. Ha! Now we're in real form here, folks. We're ready for the next one. This will be the last one we do, and then we'll talk about Vaush a bit, and then we'll do some of the recommendations that are in Discord. By the way, folks, if you'd like to 2 years, okay. Because I'm starting to see how difficult it is to not smoke. Obviously, I knew that previously, but okay, guys, Jester. So now Jester makeup is the last one we'll do. Okay. Start the goal. Okay, guys. Okay. But welcome back, Mithril. Okay. Yeah, you say, Alan W., I haven't been able to successfully quit, but my dad smoked for 20 years and told me the only thing that worked was cold turkey. Yeah. I really wish I could do that. You're right, Henry G, and I actually really like that, which is why I say I need to read more about that stuff. You have to understand, folks, like I was studying fascism and stuff, so I also can see how if you limit some free speech, a government that has very ill intentions can misuse that. At the same time, I can also see the other side. That's why I'm undecided on it. It's something I kind of struggle with in my head. I'll need to think more about it. Okay. Force yourself to vape the yuckiest flavor. That's true. Well, as Death Died Today said, and per Long Beach Dragon suggestion, I won't be able to smoke now until, well, how about this? We'll say till the end of the stream, since we've now reached 10 super chats. So I'm not allowed to vape anymore. You see the vape? Buy vape. It's gone. I threw it away. It's gone. It's over there. Okay. Okay. Now, if I do say I got to get up to go, you know, go to the bathroom, you all might know what's happening. Okay. I should, Miro, but yeah, that's complicated. I should throw it away. If I do throw it away, you know what'll end up happening? I'll go and get it later. I'll just go get it out of because I've tried this. I'll just go get it out of the trash can because I'm addicted. So it's rough. Okay. Okay. Okay, guys, let's do this last video here, and then we'll do something else. We'll move on. Let me okay, this one this is the last one we're doing today. Oh, no. Okay. Oh, good Lord. Okay, this one is called What Are Your Kids Learning in School? They're all learning to be trans, I bet. That's what they're going to say. They're all learning to be trans. They're all learning to be gay. They're all learning to be Marxists. That's what they're going to say. I can guess. Okay, it's me, Bingo. You can go cold turkey. Don't tell yourself otherwise. Thank you for the help there. It's me, Bingo. Okay, I'll see what I can do. No more smoking during this live stream. Okay, let's go now, folks. Let me do my little bit here. Again, folks, if we get 5 more super chats, I'll put on the Jester makeup. Sir Bartholomew really help propping up the stream here. Okay, guys. Okay, so if you like this content, click the join button beneath the video, and for as little as 99 cents per month, you can help support the channel, and you will get access to some emojis in live streams, and you'll get a nice cute little Jester hat next to your name. You can also support me on Patreon for as little as $5 a month. Help support the channel and get access to exclusive content. Hit the subscribe button below if you're not already subscribed, and hit the bell icon if you want to be notified when I go live. All right, this next video here is called what is it called? I'm going to actually fix it here. It is called What Your Kids Are Learning in School by Prageru. Again, Prageru being used in classrooms all over the place now and being pushed by the Trump administration to replace the PBS, okay? So I'm a teacher, folks. For the folks watching on YouTube, I'm a teacher, so I suspect I will have a lot to say about this. Let's take a look. Let's watch. Okay, guys, let's go here.
What's happening in our schools? Colleges have become leftist indoctrination centers. It's not a new problem.
Okay, off to the bat, we have a problem, okay? Leftist indoctrination centers. I can promise you folks that a lot of colleges, especially business departments, are not leftist, okay? They're absolutely not. And by the way, there is, and I'm not trying to this sounds condescending. This is not what I mean. And I hope those of you who know me know this. There is a link between a lot of education and being more left-leaning. So it might have to do with people being more educated, understanding things like that. But it's just not true. There are on college campuses, there are very conservative professors, there are very liberal professors, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, guys, let's go.
Problem. It's been going on for decades, first behind the scenes and now out front. That's how radical change happens. It creeps up on us. And when we finally figure out what's going on, it's too late. What's been happening on college campuses is now happening in elementary schools and high schools. I know. I'm a mom of 2 school-aged kids.
What's happening?
I've seen it with my own eyes. More and more parents are
that's kind of scary. Her eyes are kind of creepy.
seeing it too. Thanks to the lockdowns and Zoom, we're getting a window into our children's class.
Yeah, all the problems with the education system go back to COVID. Yeah, no, they don't. Admittedly, they did cause a lot of issues. They were issues that were necessary, though, to save people from death, by the way. But regardless, this is crazy that she's trying to say it all. That just goes back to that. No, it doesn't.
Classes. It's not a pretty picture. Kids, really young kids, are being taught stuff so radical, so devoid of what real education is, it should alarm us all. Here are a few examples.
God, I wish I could have been teaching my student things that are considered more radical, like, oh, maybe the people should actually control the United States and not let corporations and the wealthy do it. Alas, I couldn't do that. I don't know any teacher that does. What does she mean by this?
Examples. Recently, Chicago Public Schools adopted an American history curriculum based on the 1619 Project published and promoted by the New York Times.
They love going after the 1619 Project, which is about the introduction of slaves into the New World. Admittedly, folks, and I'm not saying this because I don't like the 1619 Project. There are some actual historical issues with it. Some of their sources and stuff are kind of flawed. It's not the best historical analysis, but it is true that that slavery was a big thing in the United States.
1619 Project asserts that America's founding was not marked by the Declaration of Independence in 1776, but the arrival of the first African slaves in Jamestown in 1619. Historians from
see, and God, I hate that I'm doing this. I hate that I'm defending that comment she's making. Okay, that it does say that in Project 1619 that America was founded when the first enslaved people got here. But that's again, the people that were at that time, they identified as English. They did not identify as Americans. I'm splitting hairs here. I feel bad because I don't want to make it appear. I don't want to, make anyone think that she has a relevant reason for hating this stuff. She doesn't. But there are some historical issues with Project 1619. 1619.
Across the political spectrum have denounced this as a giant lie. The New York Times has walked back many of the project's original claims. Still, this malicious slander of America is now being taught in schools as truth.
I've never seen it taught in a school. Never seen it taught in a school. Not once. I've taught at multiple schools. Maybe it's happening out there somewhere. Never seen it happen.
And what is that truth? That America is, was, and always has been a fundamentally racist country, and that white Americans today bear responsibility.
Well, okay. I don't mean to sound like a Debbie Downer here, but yeah, race was a very big component of early America, of America throughout history. There was a massive racial component to it. The most profitable industry was slavery, which was explicitly racial, not to mention the enslavement of Native peoples, the genocide of Native peoples.
Responsibility for all current and historic racism.
Well, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I need to go back a little bit here. Did she say that?
All current and historic racism.
Who bears responsibility for it?
A fundamentally racist country, and that white Americans today bear responsibility for all current.
No one. No. Okay. And maybe there are people out there who don't really know what they're talking about. No, of course, modern day white Americans do not bear all responsibility for all current and historic racism, okay? I have yet to meet a white person who is a slave owner. This is a straw man here, okay? I don't know anyone who is saying that all modern day white Americans are responsible for the crimes of people in the past. Yes, white Americans are oftentimes perpetuate and reproduce racist systems in the United States even today, but she is straw manning, okay?
Current and historic racism. This bleeds perfectly into another educational debacle: diversity, equity, and inclusion. Now, this might sound innocent, but don't be fooled. It's a dangerous euphemism for something called critical race theory.
No teacher at a high school or elementary level is teaching critical race theory. Critical race theory is a graduate level theory, way of analyzing the laws of and the legal history to uncover how structural racism is created through legal systems. Does that sound like something you could be teaching to a grade schooler or even a high schooler? Critical race theory is not something being taught in schools. What this is a dog whistle for is teaching about slavery, teaching about segregation and things like that. I can't stand it. And by the way, some of the curriculums that were passed in red states that were claiming to be a fight against critical race theory, if you go in and actually read that legislation, It is not critical race theory. It'll say things like discussing slavery, discussing segregation, or it'll say you have to give both sides of everything, including the Ku Klux Klan. How do you do that in a classroom? How do you stand in front of a class and go, the Ku Klux Klan was bad, but on the other hand, I mean, okay.
Critical race theory says that racism is woven into the very fabric of American society. What does this look like in a school setting? Middle and high school students in Wellesley, Massachusetts, are being taught to be on the lookout for unconscious racial bias in their classmates. We need your help, an email to students reads.
Admittedly, folks, Massachusetts schools are some of the most diverse schools in the country. Boston itself is a majority-minority city, and I've lived there. I taught there. I know this for a fact, and yeah, I do think it's important for students to be aware of their unconscious racial biases because they are surrounded by people from all over the world. I don't see an issue with that. I don't know if this is true. I don't really trust what she says, but even if it is, that sounds great to me. Yes, please teach students young, to be aware of some biases they may have so they're not racist towards their classmates and people in the wider world, which, by the way, once you leave school, that's not going to do you very well in the real world.
School leaders will be working with you this year on how to be proactive about preventing bias incidents and how to report them should they occur. This warped vision of America doesn't stop at race.
Oh, so that's a warped vision of America, to report acts of racism inside of a school for children. That's a warped vision of America. How dare you report when your fellow classmate is discriminating against you for your skin color? How dare you? Is this what? Okay.
In Colorado, first graders are being taught that just because someone looks like a boy doesn't mean they are.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Is that a problem? And that's factually true. That is factually true. There are men, by the way, boys, who are sexed as men at birth, and as they get older, they may not look like you would expect a boy to look, as in they don't meet that stereotype. And then, of course, there are transgender boys. There are non-binary boys. Yeah. What is the issue with that? What is the issue with that?
Only they can know who they truly are. Gender is something they choose for themselves, based on how masculine or feminine they feel. Or maybe they're not fully a boy or a girl, but something in between. Whatever that may be.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't see this is gross. This is very, very gross, very transphobic, very anti-LGBTQ, anti-non-binary. Also, folks, who cares? Why can't people just do what they want to do? Who cares? Like, people can, who cares if someone wants to identify one way or another, right? It's not hurting you. Why can't you respect them as a human being? These people have a weird obsession with this stuff. Like, why are they always going around obsessing about other people's genitalia? Why? I was watching a video one time doing a reaction to, and this guy was talking about sodomy. Like, he is obsessed with sodomy, one of these Christian nationalist types. It's weird, the obsession these people have about what other people want to do with their bodies, what they want to do with their genitals. Why are you going around just obsessing about that? Let people be what they want to be. Who cares? Who cares? And I feel like we have other problems here. If this was a problem, it's not a problem. But if it was, we have much bigger problems, much bigger issues going on.
To repeat, that's what children are taught in first grade. Imagine what they're taught in second or third grade.
I don't know, arithmetic, grammar.
And, of course, the world faces imminent disaster from global warming.
Yeah, but we have to be obsessing about people's genitalia and what they identify as gender-wise.
The American Federation of Teachers has fully endorsed the most radical aspects of the Green New Deal, which is already featured in California school curriculums. In many of our...
Good. You know why? Because those children are going to have a terrible future unless we do something about climate change. It is good to let them know what their parents and what our modern day society is doing to their futures. Totally support that. Let them know.
Schools are teaching children that our past is terrible and that they have no future. That if they are white, they are racist whether they know it or not. If they're black, they're victims, whether they experience it or not. That they should constantly question their sexual identity. With all this being...
Okay. while you are going through puberty and you are going through adolescence, it is natural to start questioning your identity. Like, this happens to all of us, okay? Whether you're straight, you're gay, you're bisexual, whether you're transgender, whether you're cisgender, whatever it may be, people go, as you're developing sexually, as your body is developing, as your brain is developing, people go through a process of trying to sort this stuff out. Why are we demonizing a natural human process of sorting these things out?
Drummed into their heads. No wonder today's kids have more psychological problems than any previous generation.
Oh, okay. So now we're conflating having natural, natural development and things like that with psychological problems. This is classic dog whistling, the historic notion that LGBTQ folks, trans folks, gay folks, all those folks have a mental illness is gross and is soundly rejected by every official scientific psychiatric organization in the United States. Okay.
Maybe you think I'm cherry-picking examples to exaggerate my point.
You think I might think you're cherry-picking examples?
Or maybe you're one of the lucky ones who sends your kids to a school that has yet to be infected by this radical agenda. Maybe. But if I were you, I wouldn't take it on faith. Find out for yourself.
Isn't that something that she probably loves to do, is take things on faith, though? Anyway.
When I did, I was shocked to learn that all of this is happening in my school district.
Yeah, real care and energy
right now.
Here. Real care and energy.
So find out what's being taught in your kids' school. Take a good, hard look at curricula. Ask administrators if they endorse the 1619 Project. Are they pushing a diversity, equity, and inclusion agenda? If so, demand to see...
Guys, in a school, especially in America, you have vast diversity in terms of the people that are there. You have kids who come from all over the world. You have kids whose primary language is not English. In a school, diversity, equity, and inclusion means making sure that you're meeting the needs of all students where they are culturally, where they are in terms of their language. It's how you teach. It is the basics of teaching. You need to cater the education to your students. Okay.
What materials the school is using. At a minimum, get to know your kids' teachers and principals. Join the PTA, attend local school board meetings, look for allies among...
We all know that this is going to translate into harassment of teachers and harassment of administrators, and I've seen it happen before. It's happened to me before. Okay.
Reasonable, like-minded parents. You don't have to agree with each other on everything. You just have to agree that the brainwashing of our children stops here.
The brainwashing of children on a Prageru video. The brainwashing of children, and she's working for Prageru, which puts out basically pure propaganda for the purpose of brainwashing children. This is complete lack of self-awareness, utter lack of self-awareness.
Stops now. Americans know what our children should be learning, that they must take responsibility for their conduct, that race is the least important aspect of another person, that hard work and rational thought are things we all value, that there is nothing wrong with the bodies they were born into, and that America...
Is anyone saying that? Is anyone saying that the bodies a person was born into is wrong? No one is saying that. That is not what anyone is saying. That's not. I know what she's trying to hint there. This is transphobia, but that is not. No one thinks that like the body you're born, because obviously you can't choose the body you're born into. No one thinks it's wrong to be born into a certain body.
America was founded not to promote racism, but to guarantee sacred liberties and opportunities to its citizens. And it wouldn't hurt if they learned reading and writing and math too. I'm Jill Simone.
Yeah, like, or afterthought for her, right? Oh, yeah, they probably should also learn reading and writing and things like that. Yeah, that's an afterthought.
Founder of thefabmom.com for Prager University.
Okay, that was garbage. Okay, thank you. Thank God we're done with those, folks. Thank you for being patient with me while we got through that. Let me see what we got here. Okay, guys. CBD might help with the anxiety. You know what? I might try that. I could easily get some CBD. Yeah, you're right, Luke. The oral fixation, that could have multiple meanings. Anyway, but the oral fixation with smoking is a thing. Okay, it is sort of a ritualized thing that I do. The worst people to have in a class with me, right? Light a candle, slurp okay, yes, slurp a seltzer. Very good point here, Sir Bartholomew. As someone who briefly went to college for policing, I can confirm that this is bullshit. Yep. Again, it depends on the field you're in and stuff. There are a lot of business schools, legal schools that are very conservative. Sir, should I take Intro to Poli-Sci or detailed local history class? Ooh, Macy, I don't want to make that decision for you. I would suspect that Intro to Political Science would be more generally useful, but if you have a particular reason you'd want to do a local history class that would be relevant to you, I would take that one. I would leave it up to you. Mithril, a few years ago, the economics department at Manchester University faced a student strike because they were only teaching neoliberal economics. Yeah, folks, there are a lot of universities that are very conservative in their economics departments. I mean, think about Harvard, Stanford, Yale, very conservative economics department, which is why all the elites send their children there. Okay. Luke, AB, Mom, what does that stand for? Aryan Brotherhood? I know, right? It certainly appears so. Long Beach Dragon, there is a reason Trump said he loves the uneducated after all. You know, Long Beach Dragon, you are not wrong, and that is not even an exaggeration. There has long been an anti-intellectual movement in the United States, especially from the right wing. They don't want people educated because that allows people to think freely and makes it harder for institutions that are traditionally associated with the right to get to people's minds. Institutions like evangelical churches, institutions like the military, institutions like corporate entities and things like that don't like over-education because to them that's a threat. Okay, Fox Emblem got a bidet and installed it. Why the hell aren't these normal in America? Thank you, Fox Emblem. This is an important public service announcement. We need bidets in America. This is going to sound gross, folks, but I want you to think about this. In Europe, a lot of places have bidets, not everywhere. In Japan, they have them. You need some water down there. What do we do here? We take a thin piece of paper and smear it all around, okay? Doesn't that sound healthy and clean, right? We need water. I totally agree. Bidets are better, okay? Okay, I know I'm kind of getting off track here. Blows against the empire. It's not that the change is radical. It's the changes occur at all, right? Right-wingers are usually less embracing a change. You're right. Blows against the empire. I should have been a bit more careful how I phrase that. Sammy Lammy, 1D for, oh my God, for a moment, I thought the alarm was in my apartment. Guys, I thought so too. I'm like, what is that? Okay. I'm Macy Schroeder. I'm so sad. I'm so happy for your sphincter, Fox Emblem. Okay, 1619 project. Okay, Macy, I don't like feeling like I have to shower after going number 2. Okay, now, yeah, Fox Emblem, I totally agree with you. And folks, I would love, maybe we'll have a convo sometime about bidets. I think they should become regular in America. I think, I don't understand. Yeah, why we don't have them. Okay, well, I know why, because, well, okay, there's some history there. Luke, could you assign the people's history of the United States? And Luke, I have before. In especially some of the schools I was in, I was able to do that. Now, I would oftentimes have to have a second book assigned also that would present a more mainstream narrative, but I would assign it, or at least I would read sections from it. I mean, it's historically accurate. It's a very good book, yes. Macy Schroeder, first we address historical racism. What's next? Women wearing pants? Yeah, I know. They probably there's a video out there on Prageru about why women shouldn't wear pants. Okay, it'll threaten femininity or whatever the hell they want to spew. Okay, Meowzord, why engage education critically when you can just fearmonger on your own alternative education, safe place? Yes, don't you love that, Meowzord? How the right wing is always screaming about safe spaces, but that's all they try to do is create safe spaces for their own ideological biases. It's insane. Bro, who says this stuff, right? Right. Well, honestly, Meg, I'm sure you know, Sir Bartholomew, a lot of people do. Winterlinde, yeah, there was a world before 1776. Shocking, right, Winterlinde? Okay, another straw man. Yeah, they're making something out of nothing. Yeah. Beginnings of CRT should start being taught in later high school, to be honest, at least the fundamentals of it. Fox Emblem, I partially agree with you. I think, and the reason I think people, like students, need to learn about how the legal system has been discriminatory. The reason I'm saying that's not really taught in schools is because it's very high-level thinking. When you really look into CRT, it requires you to be able to do that sort of analysis of laws independently. And I guess, you know what, in some cases, yeah, later in high school, you could do that. I wouldn't mind that, but it is simply not true that it is being taught in schools. Okay. Yeah, she doesn't even know what it is. You're right, Drusilla. High school refusing to read in general. Yeah, they are. Critical race theory doesn't need a euphemism. Yeah, no, it doesn't. Okay, it is. They're so disgusting. They are disgusting. They're really disgusting. Would love to see Pops react to one of these vids. I have that planned, Sir Bartholomew. I actually already have a playlist going. I might rewatch some of them with him too, because I'm sure Pops would. My dad, I actually showed him the slavery one already, and he was like frothing at the mouth. He was very, very upset. I think it would be really interesting to do a reaction with him to these things. Okay. Macy Schroeder, someone's idea for Disney Pixar Inside Out got denied, and now they are going villain mode and making kids hate having friends. Yeah, it certainly seems like it. Mithril, oh, you stole my words, Mithril. Yeah, lots of Karen energy from that one. Lots of Karen energy. And Meowzord, oh, look, a Prageru video about collegial. Oh, okay, back to gender politics again. Yeah, they seem kind of hyper-fixated, don't they? Maybe they're secretly jealous. I would not be surprised, Drusilla. There have been many right-wingers who have been found to have content on their computers and stuff that seem to show a proclivity for trans people and stuff. Maybe this is okay. Sir Bartholomew, if no one is hurting anyone, why don't you just let others do their thing? Why waste time in it? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I just don't it blows my mind why this sounds bad. It's a very primitive brain way of thinking, very caveman. And that this is insulting to cavemen, right? Like, oh, they different than me scared. Like, okay, calm down, brother. You're fine. Okay, you're fine. Okay, you're right. Yippee, Fox Emblem. Yeah, the Green New Deal, which never got passed because even the Democrats are pro-capitalist because they are corrupt. Okay, yes, Winterlinde, I'm sure you did. I'm sure that in Germany, a much more civilized country than ours at the moment, you learned about climate change in 1989. Did everyone hear that? Okay. Luke Winterlinde, in the U.S., if it was not so polarized until Al Gore was in the inconvenient. Yeah, you're right. This is basically pro-private school. You know, Elliot Waffles, I didn't even think of that angle. You're right. This is very much kind of indirectly hinting at we need charter schools, we need private schools. Okay. Hey guys, again, you're right, Fox. I keep making the mistake of saying that they're not self-aware of what they're doing. They absolutely do want an ethno-state. They're Christian nationalists. They want an ethno-state that only teaches values that they find acceptable. They're fascists. It's okay. Luke, it's like the teacher in Idaho getting in trouble for her sign that say all people are welcome here. What? Okay. People are different, not wrong. Exactly. Complete cringe fest. I'm trying really hard not to go off on some rampage with this lady. I get that. Long Beach Dragon. I get that. Crystal Greg, welcome. Welcome, by the way, Crystal Greg, to the chat. The blatant fear-mongering with the fake smile and the crazy eyes is off-putting. Yeah, the crazy eyes really got me. I'm going to see those in my nightmares. Tiago, who wants some meat from my barbecue? Tiago, please send a package over here, please, and I'll take some of your barbecue. Okay. Corbin M, welcome back, Corbin M. I use nicotine patches, but what help is getting, Wellbutrin, is that so? Okay, yeah, I'll definitely consult a doctor. Thank you for telling me about that. Thank you for the super chat, Corbin. If we get 3 more folks, I'll put on the Jester makeup. Chamomile is also good for anxiety. Thank you, guys. Thank you for that. It's me, Bingo. Good night, Sammy Lammy. Hope to see you again soon. I love that Long Beach Dragon. They should learn reading and writing and math. Yet a significant percentage of MAGA neither read nor perform simple arithmetic. Go figure. Can't argue with you there, Long Beach Dragon. Okay. New thumbnails. Super gay psycho clown is obsessed with bums. Love it, Macy. Hey, Pops my dad might want his own spreadsheet. I'll ask him if he wants to do that. Okay. Yep, Drusilla, if I'm miserable, you have to be miserable also. That is kind of what a lot of people think. They can't think outside of their own little emotional bubbles. Blows against the empire. I have a video clip on my channel of Chomsky saying that the Revolutionary War was fought. It was partially to maintain slavery, which hasn't gone over well with some. One guy argued with me, blows against the empire, keep standing up for what is true. That is 100% true. It was not the only reason for the Revolutionary War, but there was a large chunk of it was to preserve slavery. There were lots of other issues too, but that was a big factor. As a matter of fact, during the American Revolution, there was a massive slave uprising because a lot of slaves, the British had promised a lot of enslaved people that if they fought for the British, they'd be freed after the war. So a lot of slaves joined the side of the British, understandably. But yeah, again, more complicated than that, but that is true. So that guy arguing with you is absolutely wrong. Okay, Alan W., I'm actually pivoting to the right and claiming I'm being censored because I'm realizing half my chats aren't showing up for everyone. Really, Alan? That's so weird. Huh. Okay. Yes, Alan, I'm purposely censoring you, okay? There's some cancel culture going on here. Macy, of course, ozone destruction, yeah. Mithril, I hate Margaret Thatcher with a passion, but she trained as a scientist and recognized the reality of climate change. Yeah, that's how bad we are here in the U.S. right now, Mithril. Someone as wretched as Margaret Thatcher is more progressive on climate change than we are here. Margaret Thatcher being a horrendous human being, a really bad person when it comes to politics, but yeah, at least she acknowledged climate change existed. Yeah. Yep, you're right, Luke. It was. Slavery was abolished in 1833 by the British Empire. The person who wrote Amazing Grace underwent a pretty big radical transformation. Yeah, you guys are right. Okay, guys. So that was great. Let me put on my face camera now here. I want to briefly talk to you all about something. I'm honestly just going to ask you about it. And if anyone in chat has any insight, let me know. Let me go back to my face screen here. Okay. Here we go. This feels better. Oh, okay. All right, guys. So you'll notice in the title to the stream, I have it says Vaush ? I wanted to ask, because I am very curious. I want to hear what all of you out there say. For those who know who Vaush is, what should I know about him? I've watched some of his stuff. I like some of his stuff. Other times he'll say things that make me cringe. Like, for example, I saw him streaming yesterday and I got on and he was calling poor white people, like poor whites, inbred hicks or something like that, which bothers me because they are poor. I mean, they are an oppressed group. They're poor whites. But I also know that there's some drama around it. Does anyone have insight on this? I'm just trying to get a feel for Vaush. Whether I should spend time on him. Never heard of Vaush? Okay, excellent. Okay, I'm just curious. Anyone have any insight there? I know, yeah, Angela Merkel was a chemist. That's for sure. You haven't heard of Vaush? I know I got some... he's okay sometimes, and other times he's annoying AF. Okay. I'm okay with whatever. Okay. See, that I was kind of the impression I was getting. Like, I'm not. I get it. I think he was a weirdo years ago. Most of his streams are a show and not how he actually is, though. He's chill. Oh, okay. If that's excellent, Fox Emblem. Thank you for some insight. I get it. If he's trying to put on a show for the clicks, it's giving blue eyes. He's good at most things in my opinion. Okay. Weird controversies. Wasn't Margaret Thatcher the Leona Hemsley of British politics? Yeah, okay. He's a bit of an edgelord. You're usually pretty good. Okay. He's also extremely icky. Okay. I've never heard. Hey, welcome, Oz. Welcome to the stream. I've never heard of them until people started saying that he had said some dumb stuff. Okay. Thank you. That gives me a little overview. I was just making sure there was nothing like too horrific there. Okay. Is it? Okay, he's in a rap. I'll read about it a bit. Crystal Gregg, he is very sarcastic but can cross the line, I feel. Okay. Way better than he used to be. All right, guys. Ashley Gatt, okay. He had some controversial, but all of it essentially taken out of context. That is fair. So I will most lefties, like lefty streamers and stuff. Even though I disagree with some of the things they say, I'm okay with their messaging because heck, we need the lefty messaging out there. So I that's kind of how I viewed him previously. I just wanted to make sure because I know there's a lot of drama around it. I don't really. Okay. Yeah, so you don't think but you think he's intentionally inflammatory? He's just a style. Okay. All right, folks. Thank you. That feedback is helpful to me. Thank you very much. All right. So what we're going to do now? Let me see what we have on Discord. We'll probably only watch a couple things. I've been streaming for a while now, and then I'll get off of here. Let's see what we got here on Discord. By the way, folks, if you join our Discord, we have a very fast-growing community on there. I highly recommend everyone join. And if you do join Discord, you can put recommendations in the recommendations channel, and I may watch them on stream and react to them. So let me see what we got here. Okay, reactions. Okay, let's take a look. Thank you guys. Some of you have been posting the times on these, which is great. It helps me out when you post how long they are. Oh, I'm going to watch this one. Absolutely. Okay, this was posted by Macy. Actually, these two were posted by Macy. I'm going to do one of the ones Macy posted because I've heard of this, I think, but it looks interesting. This one, folks, I'll pause. Okay, let me 1 second. I know I'll put it back on the screen here. Okay. All right, let me change the screen here. So thank you, Macy, for sending this to us. Let's take a look at what this is. Okay, this is called No Appreciation, No Nothing. Viral Burger King Mom Fired. Oh, God, this is probably a labor thing. I'm going to lose my mind again. Let's see. Let me go back here to the chat so I can see what everyone's saying here. Okay, yeah, thank you, Sam. That's okay. So yeah, folks, I got you. Oh, I didn't know that, Fox. He's queer. I didn't know that, actually. Okay, interesting. Okay, okay. So let's watch this. All right, let's see what new fresh horrors Macy has brought us. I mean that in a good way, Macy, okay? Let's see what we got here. Again, folks, if we get 4 more super chats, I'll put on the Jester makeup. Thank you for everyone who's donated so far. It does help me quite a bit. I'm actually weird. I'm kind of this is a side note here. I think I haven't made enough yet this month for it to support me long term. That being said, given how I haven't been doing it that long, I suspect it'll be even more next month. So I'm getting pretty close to being able to do this full time. So all your support has been very helpful. Oh, is that so, Alan? Okay. So you've noticed that every time his name is mentioned, his fans run to his defense immediately. Usually not a good sign. Okay, yeah, that sounds kind of culty, I guess. But I'll look into him. But thank you for that, Alan. I'll just watch some more of his stuff and see about it. Okay, I will raise up the volume on here. Let's make sure that everyone can hear this. Let me know if you guys can't hear it. Macy has warned us that this might be a bit quiet. So let's see.
Well, tonight we have continuing coverage about a local mother.
Yeah, I'm going to turn it up a bit. Oh, thank you, Luke. Thank you very much for signing up for a Patreon. Yeah, well, right, Tiago, we're also a cult. No, we're not. Okay, but yes, thank you for. Okay, let me audio capture here. Oh, it's actually as high up as it can go. Okay, well, we'll just try with what we have. Let me know, folks, if you can't hear it. This is probably the highest it can go. It's as high as it can go.
We told you about this summer who was running a Columbia Burger King all by herself at times. Back in June, video of Nakia Hamilton doing her job went viral, and she was praised for her work ethic. She ended up becoming one of our paid forward recipients just weeks after that video went viral. She was shown working 12 hours plus, holding down the fort so that Burger King could remain open.
I be missing out on my kids' life and I work a lot. So I be having to provide for them, and I really don't be having time to spend with them.
See, this is heartbreaking. This is enraging. We work so much in this country, 12-hour shifts. Are you insane? What are we doing? I mean, I know a lot of people in chat, we've talked about this before, have to do things like that. I mean, it's just, okay, it's horrible. Mithril, do not worry about it, okay? Folks, I know the economic state of the world is bad. If you can't send me money, I'm still going to answer your chats. I still want you in here and such, okay? I'm just, but of course I have a personal motive here, right? I mean, as in I am slightly motivated by that, so because I would love to do this full time, but again, it's not, I understand it. I'm not expecting everyone to be able to send me something at all, okay? Okay, And by the way, folks, again, I would recommend everyone go to our Discord channel. It's very fast growing. If someone would put that in the stream, maybe the link. Okay, here we go. This is disgusting. It has always shocked me how horrific the work culture is in the United States.
And it hurts me a lot.
Oh.
Well, now she is going viral once again after she is reportedly saying she was fired. Our Brolyse Pimentel, you had a chance to speak with Nakia today. I mean, a lot of people kind of shocked at what she served up today, the news.
Yeah, and Nakia
What happened?
Says,
she was fired?
Since we first aired her story, she's gone viral and working conditions have not improved, even with all that attention it was getting. She says Burger King fired her last week and says the way they've treated her is wrong. Nakia says her frustrations come from all the days
I didn't even need to hear that she was treated wrong. You could have just told me she worked for Burger King, and I can already tell you she's being treated wrong. The low wages, the long hours.
And tears into keeping the store running all by herself.
All by herself? She's doing it all by herself? How?
But Evergreen fired me because I've been late because of my kids, bro. My kids come first. And now when y'all gonna watch my kids? Y'all don't pay for no babysitter, no nothing.
Nakia Hamilton, crying tears of frustration, posting this video on TikTok earlier this month after being fired from Burger King on Broad River Road in Columbia. Hamilton went viral on social media in June for running the restaurant solo, working 12 hours plus, doing every job to provide for her 3 children. She says
she has 3 kids and she's having to work 12-hour shifts and work alone in the store. That is monstrous. What are we doing? What are we doing in this country, folks?
the company wrongfully fired her after she was on approved time off and was scheduled to work the day she was coming back.
So I told them, you know, I'm not going to make it in time. I don't see how y'all schedule me at 12 knowing I'm leaving Charlotte at 11. And it take an hour and 30 minutes to get to work. Still got to drop kids. I still got to do everything.
Hamilton says they responded. And
I know I'm doing the body thing here, but her eyes, absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Look at her eyes.
Says they responded and told her she was terminated, so she didn't report to work the next day. But Burger King reached out and told her to report back to work the following day and to be on time. She says the franchise owner, Matt O'Doherty, went to look at her time logs for the past 2 weeks and told her she was late too often. Hamilton says O'Doherty lacked consideration and gave her a final write-up.
I was like, how I get a final written warning when I never got wrote up or got in trouble with the company?
Hamilton says she always communicated with her GM when she was going to be late and says she always was okay with it because she's a single mom and a hard worker. Hamilton says Burger King and O'Doherty used absence issues as a way to get rid of her.
He was like,
oh my God. That's so immoral. I mean, this mother of 3 working 12-hour shifts to survive, and so she talks about the distress in her life and they boot her?
Yeah, you caused the controversy, you caused too
Oh my
much
God.
problems for the job, you knew not to work by yourself. They literally, 2 weeks after everything went down, they literally made a whole contract after everything went down about being in the store by herself.
She says since she's gone viral, Burger King has been threatening to fire her for speaking to the media about her
Oh my God.
shifts.
Remember, folks, remember what I was saying, how it is consistently annoying to me how Americans are all obsessed about having freedom of speech from the government, all obsessed about the freedoms the government gives them. But when they're in a workspace, they are perfectly fine with businesses acting like tyrants, is suppressing their freedom of speech, not allowing them to democratically make decisions. This is a perfect example of that. Is that not just oppressive? She can't even speak. She can't even speak the truth about her experience, and she's going to get fired.
Says they never provided help or extra crew members for her. Watch Fox News reached out to Burger King about the termination. In a statement, a Burger King spokesperson saying, quote, "Terminations are the decision of the franchisees who own and operate the BK restaurant. In this situation, the franchise confirmed the individual involved is no longer employed due to repeated attendance issues. Burger King says no one should work alone and they're disappointed their policy wasn't followed. Hamilton says she's planning to sue the company.
Oh, how cute. They're disappointed. Oh, we're disappointed our policy wasn't followed. Yeah, what are you going to do about it then? What are you going to do about it? Are you going to rehire her so that she can feed her 3 children?
I feel like that's emotional distress. That y'all neglected me at the job for 2 days, and you saying that I put Burger King responded and said I put the job in danger. I was a liability, but how if y'all knew I was in the store by myself for 2 days and I notified my higher ups and the man that was over the district manager, he told them, well, that's sad to hear that, and he still let me run the store.
Of course they did. They can exploit her labor because they know she's a hard worker. Yeah, Mithril. I gotta tell you, Mithril, I've been to the UK, and Lancashire accents. I have trouble kind of interpreting them a bit. I'm sorry to say. So I get that, Mithril. Also, people from oh, where is it? Kenton? Is it Kenton, Essex? I can't remember. But Luke, oh my God, Luke! I worked in a pet food factory, grinding salmon into frozen salmon food. I worked pushing fish into a sugar with no guardrails, and lifted 100,000 plus pounds a night. Luke, are you the Hulk at this point? I mean, Jesus Christ! Holy crap! By the way, folks, think about what that the damage that may have done to Luke's body, like the pressure that puts on his body and things like that. And maybe it didn't damage his body, but like over time, that can have a really bad effect on a person's bone structure, on joints and stuff. And I would bet, Luke, I bet you didn't. I mean, you probably had health insurance, but I bet it wasn't what you needed to fix all the problems that your labor caused. Good God, 12 to 18 hours a day doing that? Yeah, you're right, Tiago. Yeah, working more hard. Demosthenes, working hard more often now, get you a promotion of doing 3. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, a lot of times when you gets a promotion, all this more burden is put on them. So even though they're being paid a little bit, maybe a little bit more, they're doing 1,000 times more work. Okay, Jesus. Yeah. Oh my God. What are we doing? I did 35 days without a day off. Is that even legal? Luke, that's crazy. Oh my God. Did you get paid overtime, Luke, for that? You better have. I mean, those monsters better have paid you overtime. Okay. All right, let's continue.
So broadly, it's a very complicated story here, but I do understand that just before this story aired, you heard from the franchisee owner. So what do you have to say about this?
Yeah, we actually just received this email moments ago, and friendly Matt O'Doherty tells me that Nakia chose to resign. However, in an official statement today, Burger King corporate told us Nakia was terminated.
Wow, so a lot of back and forth here. We know that when she originally came forward, a lot of people saw this viral video. So broadly, thank you so much for reaching back out to her on this story here.
Yeah, absolutely.
By the way, it is a mechanism of social control, folks, that businesses will sometimes let people get away with coming in late if they have children or something, but then almost always those businesses will keep a file somewhere where they mention that, and that gives them a reason to fire that person if they ever need to in the future. This happens in multiple business spaces. So even if a business is letting you do things that are technically against the rules, they will oftentimes keep it as a kind of blackmail, and I'm not even joking. It's horrific, okay? God, Luke, that is horrific. Yeah, I don't blame you. I would have lost my shit too. I would have been batshit crazy. Okay, I would have been frothing at the mouth. I would never want to have seen a fish again. That's for sure. I would have gone to the ocean and just pissed in it just to spite the fish. Okay. Anyway, all right, guys. That was a good one. Thank you, Macy. That is horrific. And this is the kind of thing happening all over the country with people who have children and such, working very hard but not making a living wage, and then being fired when they have to care for their children. Okay, yeah, all right. By the way, I love it how right-wingers are always screaming about the birth rates in this country, but they want to do nothing at all to help parents or people or couples or whoever it may be who want to have children economically. Anyway, okay. Okay. Okay, that's horrific, Nailsword. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna take a, well, when did we start the stream? We started about 3. It's been about, how long have we been going? We've been going for, let me see here, give me a second. I just want to check here. We might go a little longer. Let me just double check. I think I'm almost to the end of time here. We've been going for, where's the number? Oh. Let me see. I can't find where it says. Am I going? Sorry. I think it's been about. Oh yeah. Okay. It's been 2 hours. Okay. So actually, folks, this is what we'll do. I'm going to get off for now. Okay. I do need to eat. I need to get my biological functions met. And thank you. Okay, that's perfect. That was kind of what I wanted to do, was around 2.5 to 3 hours. So we'll stop here. I know I only reacted to one video here. I'll come back on tomorrow, of course. I'll do some more of this. A lot of great recommendations in chat. Thank you, everyone, for staying by. Let me put on the face screen here. Okay. All right. So let me see what we got here in chat. Okay, you guys. All right, folks. I think you know what's coming here. Let me just double check. Do we get everyone? Yeah. Okay, good. All right. So I know I'm getting off kind of suddenly here, but I am very hungry. So we all know what I'm going to say. Do we all know what I'm going to say? We all know what I'm going to say. First of all, free Palestine. Free fucking Palestine. I am sick of it. Okay, you know what? Free Palestine. That's all I'm going to say on that. Second of all, you all need to keep resisting. Okay, the easiest way you can resist is to think for yourselves. The easiest way you can resist is to think for yourselves. That includes when you watch me. I am not perfect. I make mistakes. Watch other people who do things similar to me, get different perspectives. Do not rely on me. I am but one person. You need to look at multiple perspectives, okay? The easiest way you can resist is to think for yourselves. Lastly here, or it's actually second to lastly, we are living in a fascist moment. Fascism occurs when people in a society lose faith in their governments because their democratic system is no longer supporting them, is no longer representing them, is making them feel left out of the political system. In order to combat that, we need major reforms. We need major reforms to make people feel that their government and their democracy is working for them. Economic reforms, social reforms, all kinds of reforms. We need those reforms. You cannot stand in the center. If you stand in the center, the fascists will walk all over you. We need major changes, and you cannot stand in the center. Lastly here, folks, on the wall behind me is Chainbreaker. Chainbreaker is a sword from the Civil War. It is rumored to have killed 7 slave owners. I have this back here to remind everyone that people here in the United States and around the world, our ancestors have made massive sacrifices, including even their lives, to fight for things we hold dear, to fight for more economic freedom, to fight for more personal liberty, to fight for civil rights. We cannot let their sacrifice go to waste. We can't do it. We can't do it. We can't do it. And we have to keep fighting for a better future so that those sacrifices do not go to waste. Okay, you all got it? You all got it? Okay, good. All right, folks, you have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, evenings, wherever you may be in the world. Have a good night.